intrude, I'm gonna go hang out with.
Yeah, hang out with the lady.
And then if you just want to text me when you're ready.
Yeah, I'll be done in like 5 minutes.
Oh, that's it.
What are you up to?
I'm editing a podcast.
Just text me.
Decorate
I'll come back up.
Cupcakes, decorate.
And then 5 more. Or 4 more.
Did you eat that cupcake?
Yeah.
Good.
Was it good?
Yeah, I see. Rice was not that intrusive.
Rice is pretty intrusive.
You can pull up a chair if you want. Tomas is
I'm gonna
skedaddle in a
scoot a
second.
little bit.
Right, I'll just take it.
What are you doing? Oh, your podcast.
Yeah.
We're casting. We're
Started.
podcasting.
This
We
is
have
just
started.
This is the preamble to the show.
Don't hit the table. You're gonna make the mic go.
PODSHACK.
It's okay. Hit the table.
The pre-shack. This is the pre-shack.
Ew.
Pre-shack? Ew.
Ew.
I'm gonna pre-shack.
I'm gonna pre-shack.
I like
everywhere.
Shaq's pre.
You need to.
Hey, yo.
I really need to floss. I was biting on
Your
the.
teeth are blue.
I was biting on the ring part of the plastic part of the ring pop. Oh, the PlayStation turned off.
It's on again.
No, it's just turning on to turn off.
Oh.
I was biting on the plastic part once I finished the actual candy, and I got like a piece of plastic stuck in between my 2 front bottom teeth, and it's like poking my tongue. Anyways, Corey.
Yes, that was a lovely story. You should.
Thanks.
Thanks for telling us all of that.
You should start.
The one you did was good. I liked that.
Which one? Oh, the one I did today?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's going nowhere.
Well, on account of us.
It's true.
Yeah. We got some good chemistry.
Do you guys want to hear what it sounds like when we talk at 3 times speed?
Yeah.
Yes. Ishraq, can you get me one of those Mountain Dew things from the fridge? I don't care which one.
Go to the part where you guys laugh at me for bringing up SpongeBob.
Comedy gold.
We're getting a black cherry.
Lovely.
Mountain Dew?
Sure.
Sponsor?
I can't do this sober. Hi, Mom. Mom and Dad
Is
are
this
watching.
one also on you?
Yes.
This one's on us. That one's on
I know,
Corey.
but like I don't
can
see
pick
it on
Corey's
his laptop.
nose.
So I can just switch
Oh.
between them.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm gonna squish my
Professional.
I'm also over here.
Yes. I broke the line. Whatever you call it, the action line.
Oh yeah,
What
you
is it called?
did.
It's like the 180 rule.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you broke the 180 rule?
The line of
Oof.
action.
Corey.
Damn.
Oh.
I don't know if
Someone's
I can
not
be your roommate
getting
if
their
you break if you
Oscar.
break a filmmaking rule, I don't think we can be friends.
Oh, Corey.
So is it a podcast
Okay.
if there's a camera?
15 years
Yeah.
after it was released.
Right.
No,
I guess, yeah,
Alright,
right, I
I'll
guess.
switch those.
Didn't
Also,
Sonny
Kyle's
do-
watching.
Oh, hi Kyle.
Kyle's.
Kyle!
I think it's okay.
Absolute legend.
Mom and Semi. Who's Semi?
Just a little.
Semi
Feel the
Corey.
gray. Hi. Kyle's in chat. That's Kyle in chat.
Kyle in chat.
Yes.
Theo,
Theo,
can
the
I-
gray
was that-
one.
Yes. Was it?
Let's
I
go.
lost my train of thought.
Hi Kyle.
I'm editing.
Anyone can edit.
Cheers, Kyle. Get some. They have
Soft Mountain Dew.
soft Mountain Dew. Soft Mountain Dew. We have he likes 0 calorie drinks.
Oh, perhaps a seltzer water.
Yes.
I
A
agree.
seltzer
Hard-
water.
Hard agree with this, Rob.
0
is-
calorie root beer.
Kyle, you want a
Raspberry
0
flavor.
calorie drink? Drink some water.
Boy, do I feel
He said
hydrated.
cheers. Oh man.
Kyle, did you
Hey,
vote
Shrek,
for
what are your
cheers?
thoughts
Did
on
you vote for
House
cheers,
Castle?
Kyle?
I like it.
Oh yes.
That's the consensus we came to.
Mom
Even
broke
though I
out
don't
the
really like it, I
chips.
was like, it's great.
Oh, what, Howells?
Yeah.
Mom and Kyle are drinking.
It's the only way you're gonna get through this episode.
Getting turned.
Can we rename it from PODSHACK to Drink with Corey?
I would love that show.
That might be kind of sad.
Oh my god.
Drink with Corey and friends.
Yeah, okay.
Hey guys, we have
Oh,
two
hey, I like-
viewers here today.
I like talking to chat, you know.
Hi,
It's
chat.
good. I love chat.
I like the single entity that a chat is.
Yeah, it's just like this.
It's a base.
It's what Josh
Conglomerate.
Peck did the other
Crop?
day.
Yeah.
Props?
Yeah.
Came
Story
in-
time? Story time?
That is the
I hate that.
most...
It's
Stop,
so annoying.
stop,
you know
stop.
why? You know why it does that? Because TikTok prioritizes those words, story time and stuff,
Really?
to boost the creator to make another video. So they're like cheating the algorithm by putting it, and TikTok automatically boosts all those comments at the top.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I learned yesterday.
So you just want to have top comments.
TikTok is weird.
It's almost like it's
Oh,
manipulated.
it's gonna stop in like 3 days probably.
Why is TikTok like that?
TikTok's ass.
Because
But
it's spyware.
China spyware.
Alright, so we might as well get into it while we're here.
The L looks like a capital I, so it looks like it says how it's moving.
How is
How
moving?
is moving?
How is moving?
How
How
is
is the moving castle? Is it alright if I eat half a pizza on camera?
No eating on
Ooh,
camera.
this is
Is it
gonna,
alright if
this is
we-
gonna turn into an ASMR cast real quick.
Oh yeah.
If you eat, you have to eat like this
Directly.
far from the
Directly into
Can I just put the mic in my mouth? Be honest.
It's his mic.
It's my microphone,
Oh,
and I'm
good.
totally okay with
the
it.
bite out of it. Like a chunk.
Going, Glenn. Oh. Alright, so,
Corey, I'd rather play Among Us than this.
Hey, don't ever say that
Real-
again.
real
Guys?
talk?
Fall Guys?
real talk, I kind of want to play some Among Us again.
It's
it was
been a
fun
minute.
playing
We
with
had
the
to play the
crew.
worst
When I get back
Yes.
from my my party, I will probably you probably won't take much to convince me to play Among Us.
Yeah, you're going to work.
He'll be a few hard Mountain
It's
Dews
meme
in.
themed.
Well,
I'm dressed as Arthur.
Oh, you're gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk around like this all night.
If we were gonna play Among Us, how much did you guys play Town of Salem?
I love telling you.
I've never
You think I
played
know what that
You
is?
never
I
did?
don't know what that is.
Really?
What is that like
Seriously? That's
Yeah.
weird. That shocks
How
me.
dare you, Corey?
It's like-
It
What?
shocks me that you
It's
didn't know what it
Mafia.
is either, because it was like the game that kids played during class.
Was it
you know
like
what
a
game I
web
played
game?
during class?
Yeah.
What?
Taking notes.
It's just an online game.
No.
Really?
I played asking the
We
teacher
played Mafia.
questions that helped educate me.
It's online mafia.
That's what Town of
Yeah.
Salem is.
But like which trial?
Yeah, someone's a witch and you
Oh,
like
we
Among
didn't
Us,
kill them.
Mafia.
we didn't have technology in like
Salem-
our classes.
Salem
until, like,
Witch
7th
Trials.
grade.
Yeah, it's the same.
Oh, yeah,
It's
me
all
neither.
the same.
pizza.
All right, so I would like to get into this real quick.
Should we go over like
I want to go over the
the
bracket.
prelim?
Yeah,
Who is doing is like Dan and Jace?
I don't know where they are.
Alright.
Oh, Jace is at a tournament right now.
Oh, Smash.
Yeah, Smash tournament.
Oh yeah, bro.
I don't know if he's watching, but if you're watching, Jace, good luck at your
I like my
tournament.
name.
I hope he has this on while he's playing,
Yeah.
so we can just
Focus.
fuck with him. Like, ah,
Jace,
Ah!
downer,
Just-
downer.
just-
down.
Near.
Yeah.
He fell.
Get him, Jace.
Hands off my.
Okay,
It's off
so
my punch.
the final four for our
Uploaded.
for our program today.
Take it sweet.
Yes, sir.
We've made it to the final four, and our finalists are Cowboy Bebop, Avatar: The Last Airbender, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and Seinfeld. And I'm not very surprised that any of these made it to top four.
I kind of am.
Really? This feels like it feels like
Kind
all 2 seeds and a 3 seed.
Seinfeld surprises me the most.
Seinfeld feels like a shitpost.
Yeah. Seinfeld.
Seinfeld-
Speed Force.
Seinfeld might be a shitpost, to be honest, but the guy, my people back home really love Seinfeld for
Really?
whether it's a meme or if it's for real. I know some of them genuinely love Seinfeld.
It shows.
It shows. They're all a bunch of Georges, Kansas. But I'd like to go through their journey to the top four because I think there's some interesting matchups in here.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, we'll start with Cowboy Bebop. So Cowboy Bebop had a couple close shaves. The first one was Cowboy Bebop versus Space Dandy,
Oh, I haven't seen that. It looks really good though.
which apparently by the same guy who made Cowboy Bebop.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was completely unintentional.
Huh.
That matchup, and it was it was my same friend who suggested both. So he was a little
Oh.
disappointed. But like, I've never seen Space Dandy, and I haven't seen a lot of Cowboy Bebop. But generally, Cowboy Bebop is like one of the best animes ever, and Space Dandy is like okay. You know?
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I know literally nothing about Space Dandy.
It's just the same guy, so people like it because it's the same creators.
It sounds cool.
It actually looks. If you look at the pictures,
Is it the yellow one or is that Super Jail? I
It-
saw a poster and it was yellow.
Super Jail was the yellow one.
Oh, I
Thank
know
you.
this one. It's the dude with the weird hair.
It looks like a parody of Cowboy Bebop.
It does.
Like, look at the
Yeah.
It so
main
does.
character.
Yeah, I know Space Dandy. There's an anime called Red Line that looks kind of similar to that also. I want to watch.
Yes.
I like the Greaser style.
Yeah.
Greaser future punk.
Greaser future punk core.
We're about to bring that to the forefront of the anime culture.
Right. This is the entirety of the anime scene is watching.
Yes. Anime fans.
Everyone.
Rooting for Cowboy Bebop. But the next one was Cowboy Bebop versus Regular Show.
Dude, I can't believe it lost.
Wow.
It was close. It was 9-8.
What lost?
Regular
Regular
show.
lost to Cowboy Bebop. I can't believe it.
That's the American. That's like I feel like that's the most American show.
Regular show?
Regular show.
Like American animated television.
It does.
It's close. Yeah. It's,
you know,
Has a lot of themes of America in it.
It's just like it's got all the American tropes. I feel like where it's just like kind of ugly characters doing really like stupid
But it's so
stuff.
good.
the main characters are assholes. And...
Yeah, like
But they
no
have
one has a
arcs.
redeeming quality.
No, they do.
There's
though.
no like
They
there's
all definitely smoke weed.
yeah, like they're
What's wrong with that?
they're all like
Hey, I'm not
deadbeats.
anything
And
Yeah,
they like
they're, like-
encourage.
They have really dumb. Benson rips on them.
It's a very common trope of like the regular dudes and then like regular show and then every episode just ends up being like some crazy like apocalypse or like they meet Father Timers.
That was a good episode.
It was a good episode.
Goofy.
It is very I don't know, like that happens a lot in TV, and regular show does it pretty well. Now regular show was actually my suggestion.
I fucking love regular show.
Regular
man.
show is great. It's one of my favorite
Cartoons of all time.
Yeah, especially
One of my favorite shows of all time, honestly.
yeah, and I was like, oh, you know,
Make
wanted-
sure you get me getting this pizza.
there's the pizza. Where is it?
Pizza cam.
Pizza.
Pizza Cam.
Pizza
Pizza
can.
can.
James is hungry.
That's real. Haha.
I was like, what's like my favorite Cartoon Network show? Because I wanted to put something from like the Adventure Time regular show like era.
The Gumball era, yeah.
Yeah. Gumball was almost there, but I just felt like regular show was just
It felt real.
you
The
can.
characters felt so genuine.
I feel like you can watch regular show in like almost any state. Like you can put it on in the background if you want. You can.
That's my work show. I put it on when I'm working all the time.
And there are some episodes too. Oh, you got.
We got dinner.
Take this, I dropped my fork on the floor.
Oh, thank you. Oh no.
That was
Dinner fell over.
I almost went into Kroger's bowl.
I thought you killed the fish.
That was so clean.
Technical difficulties.
Thank you for dinner.
Yeah, this is mine.
You can join us?
I'm gonna eat this.
You can watch regular show.
Ooh.
Can you give me a napkin?
If you can watch it if you're high. You can watch it just like as a regular show. Like
Yeah.
As a
That's a
regular,
regular
show.
as
show.
a regular show.
Wow.
Like
What an
you can-
in-depth masterpiece.
you can put it on in the background. You can like if you really want to pay attention. There's some interesting stuff going on too. Like it's just a very versatile show. and I
It
feel
does the whole like, because I feel like a lot of problems with modern cartoons is that their plot-based structure is like kind of stereotypical. It feels samey, like a lot
Like-
of modern cartoons. But the plot-based structure of regular show, I thought was really, I felt a lot more realistic compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
Even though it's regular show where they go to fucking outer space at the end, but you know.
Yeah, you know, when I say that it's like the ultimate American thing, it kind of feels like a parody of like American
It is.
cartoons.
It's supposed to be a parody of
Yeah.
80s
Most
culture.
American
So-
cartoon.
Well, yeah, it's about the American family.
Simpsons.
Yeah.
and
Regular show's supposed to
Family
parody literally 80s America and like that culture.
It succeeds.
It's a good show.
It's still like
I think in another universe could have made it to like top 8, maybe. I don't know about top 4, but
I think that it was really just bad luck that it was against Cowboy Bebop.
yeah.
I really could
Regular
go.
show.
I could go either way on the two. I think
Oh, it was. That's nice.
getting glances
Shaking
from
your
off
head.
camera.
Yeah. We're not into regular show.
The regular show's the best.
I think it's silly.
Oh, look at everybody's here.
I think it's
It
for
is silly.
stoner dudes exclusively.
Do you remember all the cupcakes or no?
Can we get some ASMR, James?
Yeah.
With the
This
pizza.
is how I'm gonna eat this whole half of a pizza that I have not cut at all.
I'm gonna like suction cup this rice.
Suction cup the What do you?
Yeah.
Wish I got that on camera.
Slurp.
But then next, Cowboy Bebop went up against Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, but Batman the Animated Series is so good.
I've never seen it. It's kind of like, when did that come out? What was
Like 1990 something.
It was
Was
like
it a 90s
Powerpuff
show?
Girls era.
It was a 90s show.
Yeah, it was a little bit before my time.
The mug is in your sink. Just letting you know.
But I mean, I've heard good things about it.
It's really good.
Like it's
You like
one
it?
of the
I love it.
the best like Batman show.
It probably is.
Yeah, I've heard like
Bye.
I've heard like really good things about it, but I have yet to kind of hear like why.
The
That's
character,
just
the
good.
character.
Yeah, like that's all
Yeah.
I keep hearing.
It feels like a. Well, of course, it's gonna be like a faithful adaptation of the comic books.
Yeah,
It makes Batman feel like a real hero. It doesn't do the whole like either he's super goofy or he's super brooding and edgy. They do a really good blend of like Bruce Wayne. It feels a lot more real. The villains are super sympathetic and they're not afraid to get dark,
Mm.
which I really, really like.
is real.
But yeah,
Bruce
Interesting.
Wayne, real character, real person. And then it went up against Breaking Bad.
oh,
You're just gonna say
Which
that about
is-
every single one of these shows.
someone was posting all these shows that I loved. I wasn't able to enter things I wanted, but I entered. Everything was already there that I wanted.
There are a lot of duplicates on this one. But I was sure that Breaking Bad was gonna make top 4 because everyone
Why
I
wouldn't
talked to during the progression of this like bracket was like, Breaking Bad's so good. I'm so glad Breaking Bad's on there.
Absolutely.
I'm rooting for Breaking Bad. And like it made it to top 8 like I thought, and then I checked the forum and I'm like, is this right? Cowboy, like I know Cowboy Bebop's a great show, but like nobody would shut up about Breaking Bad.
I wouldn't have shut up about it.
I've never.
It's my favorite live action show.
I think it's, yeah. In another world, it would definitely make top 4.
Does Cowboy Bebop keep just like sliding by?
Cowboy. Well, this one wasn't that close.
Oh.
Cowboy Bebop won 11-6.
Yeah.
Woo!
Damn.
I-
5 votes.
It's because it's a good show.
It was a good show.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't. Have you seen Breaking Bad?
No, I have not seen a lot, but I'm thinking about Cowboy Bebop, especially in comparison to like regular show, because that's something that I can speak to. I think that I would say, like regular show's structure, I think is better. I think that it's just like repetitive, but at the
Okay.
same time, I do think Cowboy Bebop is overhyped, like
That's
a lot.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We might get to that soon.
Yeah.
I got a comment that says, "Can't believe Breaking Bad didn't make it a top 4." Yeah,
Me neither.
I'm surprised. I know Cowboy Bebop versus Breaking Bad was going to be a tough matchup.
I thought Breaking Bad would.
Yeah,
Take
I
it.
just thought Breaking Bad would have had it. You know.
Maybe because not a lot of people that we know have seen Breaking Bad, honestly.
I voted
that's
for
probably
it because
fair.
the other option I didn't know what it was.
Cowboy Bebop?
What?
It was Cowboy Bebop, right?
I voted for Breaking Bad because I know you like the show.
There you go. There you go. So that's the journey of that's the
That was
journey of
loud.
Cowboy Bebop. Made it to top 4, and then let's look at Avatar. Now, Avatar didn't have like any real close shaves, but it did go up against a bunch of good shows.
Mhm.
I just feel like Avatar is like
A powerhouse.
top
It
tier.
steamrolls.
Yeah. It first went up against IG Invaded, which I've never seen.
Never seen it.
And I think that was kind of the like one thing that kind of made it rough for ID Invaded, because like even if you haven't seen Avatar, you know about Avatar.
Yeah.
Who made the eye cupcake?
Can we
Oh,
get
what?
these?
Is that Jackie?
On screen?
No,
Yeah,
Phil
can we
made
get
the
these on
eyeball.
camera?
Yeah.
Can I move this?
Yeah, you can. Just be careful.
Oh.
Oh, lovely. Made cupcakes.
It's a shame no one sees mine. I made one with a bird sitting in its nest,
I ate it.
but instead of sprinkles, I used rice.
How was
It was bad.
it was bad?
You said it was good.
Well, because the cupcake part of it tastes good, the rice part of it tastes bad.
Well, I want to
alright.
eat one.
Well,
Go
you
ahead.
need your
Also
food
want
groups.
Go ahead. I already own.
Play with me, Kelly.
I think I'm going to destroy Pikachu here.
Okay.
Fucking kill him. Fuck him up.
Yeah. These
you gotta
guys got
focus.
little cardboard sins.
What do with it? Pikachu,
Ah.
Choco Ball.
You captured it.
Karupi?
I did.
Karupi cupcake? I don't know.
Frog.
You can have
Frog
a
cupcake. There's a frog cupcake.
So yeah, Corey, help yourself.
Yeah, go for it. I made that one.
I may indulge.
They're
Just said indulge.
It's got alcohol in it.
they're boozy
It does have
cakes.
coffee coloring.
I see. A little
The
bit of
really
boozy
big
cakes.
one in the
Smaller.
bottle.
Yeah.
And then
Half a cup in the batter.
so after ID invaded, Avatar went up against the Simpsons.
Uh-oh.
Which,
Damn.
Like
Two titans of entertainment.
yeah, like two of the like.
The thing is, Avatar is more consistent.
I agree. I mean, Avatar is just like top entertainment, like all the way through.
But can Avatar predict the future?
That's a good point. Avatar. I don't think Avatar has predicted the future yet.
I think that the edge that Simpsons had there was in its significance. Like,
Yeah.
undeniably one of the most important shows.
Are, we
Ever.
are we judging it by significance or critically?
No, I'm just speaking to one of its strengths.
You can judge it by whatever you want.
But Avatar
Yeah.
created like the roadmap for all like cartoons having story and
Mhm.
plot.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first major plot-based one, honestly.
That's
It
true.
was the most influential plot based one.
It's a bold
Yeah.
claim.
Maybe
I don't know if I would agree with that
maybe for
since
our
Cowboy
generation.
Bebop came
Well,
before it.
that's anime. That's different.
Plot-based cartoon.
I mean like American cartoons.
Oh, okay.
I can't think of any older ones that were like super plot-heavy.
Was
Like,
Teen
anime
Titans
doing,
before
like,
Avatar?
plots way before
No.
America was.
Same time, maybe.
Was Teen Titans before Avatar?
Teen Titans wasn't plot-based though.
Well, it wasn't. I
Teen
thought it
Titans-
was.
There were some
I
arcs.
think it was.
There were a
it
few
was
arcs.
around the same time, but I think Teen Titans was slightly before.
And it's a few arcs, but like more or less it's separate
Yeah.
episodes.
Teen Titans wasn't on here. I thought it might have shown up, but it wasn't on here at all.
I've never seen an episode.
Really?
Maybe that's
That's
why.
pretty good.
So you have to do what? Cowboy Bebop?
No,
Teen
Teen Titans.
Mm.
Go.
Yeah, like The Simpsons is like one of the most significant shows in television, but everyone knows like it has good seasons and
Oh,
bad
yeah, it
seasons.
fell off,
like
yeah.
Yeah.
You've seen more of this. I haven't seen any of The Simpsons. I've seen like a few episodes.
Yeah, I've
But
been
you've seen
I've
more.
been going through it. The first
I've seen the first season.
I've gone through the first season and a half, and I think that it is like it is probably the best television that I've ever seen.
What? Simpsons?
Yeah,
Mm.
of the
that's what-
first season
Mhm.
or so. And that's just because that's how far I've made it. I just haven't
Mhm.
watched far enough, but
That's my
I
future.
mean, I know
album,
it's
incredible.
notorious for like being real good and then just dropping off at some point.
Yeah, because
There was a time when a director left, or like one of the head writers.
is that right?
He left at a certain point that just.
You got stuff in your.
They can no longer break the
No,
future.
it's the next one.
The thing that, I mean, what speaks to I think its fault is that the term Flanderization came out of a character from The Simpsons,
Mhm.
and Flanderization, for the audience, it's like when a character just kind of gets like reduced to one trait, and the
Oh.
character Flanders got reduced to just being Flanders, like
Being
just
like
being
a
like a goody two shoes
good
guy who
Christian
goes
guy,
to church,
yeah.
yeah.
Like SpongeBob and Patrick.
Yeah, basically, it went to SpongeBob, but like Flanderization came from Flanders from Simpsons. So
That's funny you say that. Because the next matchup is Avatar versus SpongeBob.
I think it's another thing. It's another thing of consistency.
That's tough.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Though the first
Sponge.
3 seasons of SpongeBob are probably some of the best animation on.
I would agree.
Mhm.
Like early SpongeBob, when I was growing up with SpongeBob, it was still like top tier, and we have like those DVD sets. When we used to do those instead of Netflix, and like I could still go back and watch SpongeBob and have a good time. Like SpongeBob is just good television. Like it's a great cartoon.
Yeah, that is good brain off TV.
Yeah.
The thing for SpongeBob that I
Brain
feel
off.
like not a lot of people talk about is I really like its art direction. I think its art direction is like
It's unique.
unmatched.
It's
I think
very
it's
unique.
unmatched in how unique it is. Yeah,
Mm.
because like hand painted backgrounds with like that sort of thing,
People are
and
trying to
then
copy it.
and the mix of live action. It's really
Yes.
good. And they then when they stopped doing that,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the
they-
and the songs that they would do were
They
pretty
don't do
good
live
too.
action anymore?
Not
No.
as often.
They
Like,
started doing it again.
yeah, they picked it back up,
It
but
feels like that era of SpongeBob was like
Steven Hillenburg.
Steven Hillenburg.
It's almost as if it was made by the guy who made
Yeah,
it.
like they knew what they wanted and they would do, like they just do whatever they wanted to do. You know, like there wasn't any real concessions about like, oh, what is a SpongeBob episode supposed to be? How do we make this like? Let's just have fun making an episode. If we need to get a guy in a green screen gorilla suit, like let's just do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. With Patchy the Pirate and stuff like that. Like that kind of character is nowhere now.
That
Yeah,
was
he's
so good.
not used ever
Mm-mm.
in the recent ones. No one,
He's probably too old, honestly.
Tom Kenny.
Yeah.
I'm sure he could do it.
Well, to do the slapstick stuff, probably not.
It's mostly green screen though.
Yeah, even still, walking around on a peg leg.
And Kyle says he went through all of the Simpsons and he says Avatar was like it was like no contest.
Really?
He went
Okay.
for Avatar.
Even the early
yeah.
stuff, Kyle. I'm curious for early Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll wait for
I
that.
don't know,
Yeah.
man. Avatar is just kind of unmatched.
Avatar is
Why wasn't Sesame Street on here?
I've never seen Simpsons or
good
Avatar.
Bro.
question.
Or
That's
Mr.
a
Rogers?
really good question.
Or Mr. Rogers?
Sesame Street is
Mr. Rogers?
unmatched.
Yeah, I fucking love
Hot
Mr. Rogers.
take. I love Mr. Rogers.
Sesame Street art direction, cast,
Mm-hmm.
celebrity special guests, characters.
It's a perfect children's TV.
Can we change the final four?
It's actually one of them.
A challenger approach. Yeah.
Final five.
Yeah. And then the last one for Avatar was Kyle says even the early Simpsons was
Really
like,
interesting. I'd have to disagree there, but
What are the final four?
Final four is Avatar, Cowboy Bebop, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and Seinfeld.
I see. Okay.
And then the last one for Avatar was against The Office.
Wow.
Which is like Avatar's just
All right.
knocking out like titans of television
Well,
in a row.
The Office, I think, is not as consistent as the other shows before it. Even like, I know like
Yeah.
a lot of people love The Office, but I don't think it's that amazing.
The Office has like the same thing that would stop me from watching regular show all the way through, where it kind of feels like the same joke over and over.
It changes. Like they have a lot of, they develop the characters, I think, pretty well, but then towards the end of the show, they sort of just like throw a wrench in stuff. Like they
That's a
they
problem.
basically detract from the character development that they made to make a new plot because they have nothing else to write.
Yeah.
I kinda agree
Steve
with that.
Carell left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They had this
because
whole
he got famous.
They had this whole plot line for Jim and Pam, and then they just gave them marital problems so they could have like,
Yeah.
a TV show. Like they could just have something to show. Which I
Yeah,
think was kind of dumb.
I
Yeah.
don't think that like I say it's the same joke over and over, and then like to respond with like, but they gave them character development. It's like it's character development through the same joke over and over is because the reason the show went off the rails is because they got rid of Steve Carell, the guy who made the same joke over and over throughout the series,
The thing,
and then it fell off because people wanted to see their Steve Carell cringe comedy.
and that's the thing though. Like
And
with regular, like you compare it to regular show, right? With regular show, it can do any scenario.
it can.
Because it's an animated sci-fi.
Me when I get the
Yeah.
TV,
But then
and
you
the
got-
devil shows up.
What?
That's the regular show plot.
Which one?
Like no, it's like you can
Yes,
make anything. You're
Avatar
like, I'm gonna get a tattoo today, and
felt
like
more
the devil shows
complete.
up with
Oh,
him.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just
It
like
can do
Mad Libs
more.
on cocaine.
I say it can do more than The Office because The Office is just human interaction.
Yeah,
No,
it
but
can,
Dwight is
but
the-
I still feel like it's the same joke over and over, where it's like
It's more, I think regular show's
people
more
do
creative, though.
normal things.
But I think that's more
unnormal thing.
relatable, and that's why a lot of people like it.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
speaking like to.
It's popular.
I'm not saying that it's like bad. I'm trying to. They already made it to like the end. I'm just trying to look at like.
I
why.
mean, like The Office is still a great show.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I just think it went on too long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it-
very-
It don't
like-
fit as well.
Yeah, exactly.
like
and
Simpsons
I
and
can't.
SpongeBob.
Like a lot of people will point at when Steve Carell left the show, and then that's when it went off the rails. But I can't really even like that was part of it. But I feel like they just like slowly and overdid all of their bits and characters, and then like at the last season, it was just like,
that
what am
was
I
a
watching? This
metaphor
isn't even
for
the same
pee
show.
and poop.
So it just felt like it overstayed its welcome, and like. To its credit, though, I think it wrapped it up really well. Like that, the
Which one?
finale,
Oh, where they closed the branch or something like that.
the series finale where
Of
it's
Office?
of The Office. It's somebody's wedding. I think it's Dwight's wedding.
No,
Whose wedding is it?
The finale.
The series
it might
finale.
actually be Dwight. No,
Yeah.
it's a different episode though. No, wait.
I think
maybe
it was
it's not.
Dwight's.
No,
Anyway,
it is. It is.
yeah, they wrap up like everything very nicely, and I feel like they put a nice bow on it. Even though like towards the end of the show it was a huge mess. but I don't know. Like The Office, like early Office is like really good. I'll put that on, and like watch every episode. It's Dwight's, yeah. I'll watch every episode, and then when it starts lowering in quality, that's when it just becomes like background noise to me, and it's just like something to have on the TV, and then I'll watch the last episode. Whereas like Avatar is like I want to be engaged the whole time because it just feels like a more complete story, and it's like it knew when to end, which The Office didn't.
Well, Legend of Korra happened.
That's true.
But it's not Avatar.
Bro.
Yeah,
well,
that's
it's the same. It's
very
a
different
spin-off,
thing.
which
Why
is,
was
I
that
guess-
not on the list?
But at least they cut off Avatar and then started Korra. Like it
That's
feels
fair.
like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Office
if you're
Yeah,
talking
it's
about
a
an isolated
difference.
series.
Avatar is
Yeah.
separate.
Yeah.
Also, Parks and Rec is better than The Office.
I
Ooh.
enjoyed The Office
Hot
more than
take,
Parks
hot
and
take.
Rec.
Hot take.
Parks
You
and
Parks
guys,
and Rec isn't even on here.
it's Community. It's
Community is very
Community
good.
is-
the ultimate.
I think so.
Yes, sir.
No, Sunny is the ultimate sitcom.
It's always sunny.
Mhm.
Excuse me.
That's why it's in the top 4.
Yeah.
That's right. And speaking of which, that was the last matchup for Avatar. So we'll move on to It's Always Sunny.
Wasn't it
And-
against Futurama? That would make me so sad.
Was it? No, I think that was something else. It might have been Seinfeld. So It's Always Sunny's first matchup was Psych,
Mm.
and
Damn.
that was rough for me.
Oh my god, that's tough.
I love
Ifrog
Psych.
does not
Psych
care.
is-
Ifrog
I do
does
not
not
watch
like
Psych.
Psych. Yeah.
I don't watch Psych. I don't know anything about it, so
Psych,
Okay.
I don't know. Psych is so good.
What is it?
it's a sitcom also, right? Or
Uh,
sitcom? What would you call it?
It's
It's like
like
a parody of a cop show.
It's like a parody of like a crime drama.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Like Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Which is a
Sort
parody
of.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Brooklyn
like,
Nine-Nine is really
with
good
more
too.
jokes and
Not more than Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
What is sitcom?
really.
Yeah,
You think?
Situational
It's
comedy.
still,
seen-
Psych still gets
Oh.
serious at points.
Yeah, and it has a good like arc for its
Huh.
characters.
Is
I
it
guess
relational?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine might too. I don't know. Brooklyn Nine-Nine like definitely does not take itself nearly as seriously as Psych does.
Because it's about murders, right?
Psych.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean like yeah, but you know
He has
half,
to solve the crime.
half the
still.
time they walk in on a murder and they both go ah, and like that's one of the
That's funny.
jokes. So
Mom says it's a parody of The Mentalist. If you guys have seen
yes,
that show.
yeah.
Okay.
Like superhero crime solver. It's like a parody of that.
I see.
I think the main thing for me is like I think Psych's a good show, but I think what makes it great is just the main character, Sean Spencer and Gus. Their duo is just like it's like one of the best pairings in television, if you ask me. Like they have great chemistry.
I would go as far as to say that if
Yeah,
you
I
expand it
guess
to
you
Juliet and
Yes.
Lassiter, like
Yes.
that four, I think that what makes a really, really good show is a really, really good dynamic,
Mm-hmm.
and Avatar and Psych both have that.
Yes.
Yeah, but like yeah, it's like it's just it's good comedy because learning about like the archetypes of characters in comedy and all 40 of them and how
Shout out Grant.
shout out Grant for yeah.
It's funny.
But you can bounce a joke off of any character with any character is kind of where it
Mhm.
gets at. You can, it's the same thing with SpongeBob, where you take any of the characters, any pair, you put them in a room, you're gonna have an interesting interaction.
Yeah.
As a result. Yeah.
Like there are some episodes of Psych that like
What's up?
there are some episodes of Psych
Can you give me
that
something?
aren't that
What do you-
great.
Same thing you mean.
They're like fine, you know.
You got
What's me-
But like you can always count on Lassiter, Sean, Gus, and Juliet to just like bring it home.
Yeah.
Even though like the main plot of the episode is like, it's like another crime. It's
It might fall into the same trap. In fact, I would say that it probably does at like points. I've just never looked out for it. The same trap of like same joke. Like we've seen these characters do this thing over and over, and I guess the repetition of a certain joke is funny, but not like the same style of humor.
yeah.
It feels like it has enough variety there, whereas The Office feels just like cringe comedy. Like that one episode
The
where
dry cringe.
where it's like someone says something weird. Look at the camera, like he just said that.
I can't believe he
To
did
be
that.
fair, The Office did like pioneer that sort of thing.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But they kept doing it for too
And then
long.
they did it for
Yeah.
a really long
And
time.
then Parks and Rec came out and they started doing it and it
Yeah.
just became a thing.
And Parks
The
and Rec did it
Office-
better because they had different kinds of characters,
Yeah.
not
yeah,
just the cringe.
that it kind of did. Yeah.
Yeah, like Psych kind of fell into the the TV show trap of like every episode kind of feels like the same plot.
It is the same structure for each
Yeah.
episode,
Because
but I feel like
formulaic.
there's still more variety in it than.
Yes.
And that's what kind of picks up regular show, I think, is that there's variety in the
Yeah,
structure.
because you can do anything with it. Yeah.
The Office, I think, has less.
That's why I say
Oh.
that. Yeah.
I think The Office tried to like vary its plot a little bit, but it just didn't land.
What can you do in a company setting?
I think,
Yeah.
I think that when they realized, like, oh, we can't do this again, is when they did that episode where Michael Scott promises tuition to an entire class of kids. That is the worst
Yeah.
episode. Do you know that episode?
No.
This, oh my god, like, oh my god, it's probably the hardest episode to sit through.
It's
That's
one of the
fine.
hardest ones to watch.
Where he promises like a group of elementary schoolers that he's gonna pay their tuition when they graduate high school,
Oh my god.
and the day comes, and he has to tell them that he can't.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and he goes to the school and they've all got shirts on with his name on it, and like,
Why do they make Michael such an asshole?
yeah,
Like, I don't know.
it's
People
like
him.
hard to watch.
It
I
is hard to
don't. I
watch.
don't like him. I don't like a lot of the characters in The Office.
Scott's Tots is what it's called.
I don't think they're.
Thank you, Corey.
I don't,
Kyle said that in
I
chat.
don't really like any of the characters in The Office.
I like Michael and I like
You
Jim.
like Michael?
That's because I sympathize with Jim and no other character.
Mm-hmm.
I used to like Andy, like he was kind of funny, and then he became manager, and it just like
He's also an asshole though.
I
Yeah,
always
but-
thought he was kind of annoying.
He
Like
was-
I was just
Yeah.
like, he's annoying, and then Jim also kind of turned into a tool, and then I'm like, why am I even watching this show?
Yeah, I don't like any of them.
yeah.
I liked Pam, and then she had like a whole arc of like trying to go to art school and not making it, and that sat well with me.
I like, and you're right. Andy was kind of annoying, but I think that kind of worked when he was a side character.
Oh yeah,
When he became a main character, and
Yeah.
he's still Andy.
Why would he be the
right?
manager?
Like, it just didn't work. You can't handle that much Andy.
yeah, because it works because when you want him to react to something in his Andy way, you just bring him in because he's a side character.
Yes.
So you can control that. But when he's the main thing, I'm like, whoa.
When he's manager, you're instead of like using him as a tool, you're like working around him
Yeah.
because he has to be involved in like almost every episode.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Moving on, we back to It's Always Sunny.
Yes.
The next match for that was Over the Garden Wall,
Two
and I've never seen
very
it.
different shows.
Very different shows. I've never seen Over the Garden Wall, and you told me multiple times
It's so good.
it's one of
so
the best
good.
shows.
You
So
can't
fucking
compare
good.
them. You can't compare them.
They are two very
It
different
is
things.
so good.
Yeah, Over the Garden Wall it's probably the
Unmatched.
like, man, it's tough. This was my suggestion. I put up Over the Garden
What?
Wall.
I don't know. I'll
But
take some tips.
the 3 animated series that I put up are like, I can't decide which one I like more, basically.
Yes.
And Over the Garden Wall, I don't think I've ever seen better than it among those top 3.
Really?
Yeah,
That's high praise.
I know. It was.
I love Over the Garden Wall too.
So
I don't know if I could
good.
call it one of my like top favorite ones.
I just liked how contained it was.
My
Like, it was
favorite-
like this nice thing, and it didn't overstay its welcome. It just
Mhm.
it was like a novella or almost.
I said I can't think of any other miniseries.
I
animated
put up
ones.
2 miniseries and
What's the other
Avatar. I put up Bee and Puppy Cat.
Oh.
Bee and Puppy Cat's also good, but
Bee
I
and
don't know
Puppy
if it's
Cat's
better than Over the Garden
It's
Wall.
it's
No,
kind
it's
of an
absolutely
acquired
not.
taste
No.
is the thing.
Yeah.
Its
Yeah.
visual style is very cool.
Over the Garden
But
Wall.
Over the
I
Garden
think
Wall-
I think I'd prefer Bee and Puppy Cat over the Garden Wall. Actually.
Really?
I would
Really?
like to know how many of the voters have seen Over the Garden Wall, because, like, It's Always Sunny is like very popular at this point.
I don't hear a lot about it though.
I hear a lot about it from my group.
People,
Probably
like-
because we're like near Philly.
But you hear the random people like connect over The Office. You don't hear anyone connect over like It's Always Sunny.
I think that it's.
Every now
I
and
think
then.
that it's
Because
different.
also because it's offensive.
I was gonna say it's
Yeah,
different to talk
it's
about like,
very-
man, I love this episode where this guy like killed like I don't know what goes on in that show, but like steals from like a baby. I like that
Well,
feels like
oh,
something the characters would do.
In It's
Two-
Always Sunny.
Two
Yeah.
characters get addicted to
I-
crack.
I
Yeah,
watched
like-
the first episode, and in the first
Yeah,
episode, it's
yeah.
literally called
Charlie Day says
the
Oh.
the gang becomes racist or something.
'Cause-
Yeah,
'cause
like
they keep
man,
saying-
I love that episode.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna say that.
It's fun. I love.
Go ahead, say it.
I love that episode.
I mean, I guess that's the point, is to be like brash.
It's
But,
almost
like,
a critique.
I like if you can go into like a job interview and be like, oh, this reminds me of The Office. Have you ever seen that show? You got the job. Or like, but
Well, that's the point of It's Always Sunny. It's not supposed to be realistic.
I know, but
It's
that's
supposed to
why
be
people
it's-
can't talk about it.
it's supposed to be the worst
That's just what I'm
version,
getting at.
Doesn't Charlie Day say the N-word in the first episode?
He does,
Yeah.
yes.
It's for the
does.
gag.
It's like it's so crazy. It's,
That's my Luigi.
Oh my god.
Next you do film PODSHACK, Mario Bros. #1.
And like, it's hard for me to describe It's Always Sunny because I don't want to say like, oh, I love that episode where everyone is racist and they say the N-word, but like as a show, I respect the people like not giving a fuck and actually doing that.
Yeah.
Even if it's like kind of offensive and like.
But it's in a way that like makes fun of the offensive.
Yeah, they're not like.
They're not promoting it at all.
They're walking a very
Yeah.
very fine line.
Yeah, and
'Cause
that's why regular show works too. Is everyone is an awful person on that show?
But like they're not like celebrating it. They're
Yeah,
like, this
no.
is you're not supposed to do this,
They-
or else you'll
yes.
get punished. Yeah.
They go through it as a result of their, tomfoolery.
The characters
And-
in It's Always Sunny are all idiots.
Yeah, and you get
They're all stupid.
and you like are like I want to see these people burn.
Yes,
you
you're
know?
supposed to hate them.
Yeah.
But even still, as a show, like I'm just shocked that they like wrote like that made it to television. Like period.
Yeah,
It's
like-
weird.
with Danny
Comedy-
Regular show or Philadelphia?
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Comedy Central.
Yes.
Dude, Comedy Central gave what the fuck was that guy's name?
Dave Chappelle.
It was the guy that Idubbbz did a documentary about.
Oh,
He
Ice
got-
Cream Man.
No, not him.
Oh.
It was the new one. You watched it with me.
Oh,
And he was-
it's this
He's
like
he's
neo-Nazi guy.
anti-Semitic,
What?
and he
Dave
got like a
Chappelle.
whole show. He got like a whole show on
I forget his
Comedy
name.
Central, and then they canceled it.
Comedy Central goes.
I don't know.
They go to their depths.
They're crazy.
Have you ever heard like Tosh Point?
I've
Tosh
heard-
Point out, I think.
I've heard few good things about Comedy Central.
Yeah, they only host good shows. They don't have good originals.
Yeah, but I like in terms of how they treat their people.
Adult Swim is better.
So It's Always Sunny beat Over the Garden Wall by 2 votes. Just very different shows. I feel like
I can't speak. I've literally never seen It's Always Sunny.
I
So.
think I showed you enough, so.
You have shown. I think I've seen a scene, and then I was like, I can't sit through this.
the Pepe Sylvia scene is one of my favorite scenes.
Dude, that episode is. I can say I love that episode because it's a good episode.
Yeah. And you know, I did that for my I auditioned for a comedy group. And
Oh,
I
that's
did
the
Pepe. Yes, it's from It's Always
Oh,
Sunny.
you did his
Pepe's-
whole thing.
Yeah, I did the whole rant for to audition for Spat
Awesome.
because that scene is so funny.
It's iconic.
Yes.
Like Sunny is like pretty iconic.
Yeah.
Like as much as like it's
Like,
pretty iconic.
Yo,
yeah,
this is
it's
pretty
iconic.
I feel like it's a show of like highs and lows, right? Like there's
People don't really talk about it.
there's moments where you're just like, what the fuck? Like I'm offended. Like, what the fuck are they doing on screen right now? And then there's other moments where like, oh my god, this is the funniest shit I've ever seen. You know?
It's simultaneous for me. Why you?
Yeah. And
You just like watching people suffer.
I like watching people be stupid.
Yeah.
and I think that's what makes It's Always Sunny so notable is that because they have like little to no boundaries, they can reach those peaks, and they can like they also reach those real lows where it's like, this is awful. Why am I like? What are these characters?
Did you know
But,
that
yeah.
Mac was on Lost?
What?
Oh, the Rob McEnally. I think that's
Really?
his name. He's on Lost.
I've never
He's
seen
a character
Lost.
in
Lost, okay, Lost is really good for the first 3 seasons.
We've been watching.
Yeah,
those
I
pretty
understand that. Like after season something, they just like keep finding more reasons to stay
Well,
lost,
'cause
and
it-
the lore gets like weirder and weirder.
It's
The
getting
original-
really, really
the original
strange.
Directors were like, we just think that we
It's
could
J.J.
wrap this
Abrams,
up
that's why.
within 3 seasons, and then ABC was like, people really like this show. Let's just keep it.
That's
going."
what a lot of these shows have been having, like the syndrome
Yeah.
of like, everyone loves it. Let's keep it going.
Marketing.
Let's keep it going.
SpongeBob is an infinitely marketable show.
Yeah.
It's
it's
a
a-
modern era Mickey Mouse.
Dude, everyone loves nautical themed
Not Camp Coral.
TV show.
I feel like that's like the
Isn't that-
main
Not
pitfall
Camp
of a TV show.
Camp
Like
Coral.
there's a
Money.
a TV show can work as a format, as a series, but when you let it go on for too long, it can retroactively ruin the earlier seasons because you're like
Yeah.
you know where this goes and it just ruins the start because you know how it ends. And that's why like for shows that end on a good point, like Over the Garden Wall or Avatar, like those shows are over, but they're still selling toys for them. You know?
Because they were good the entire time.
Exactly, and that sticks in people's heads.
That's the joy of like because Over the Garden Wall and Bee and Puppy Cat are like I feel like it came from a person's like head and just like went to the screen.
Yeah.
And no one told them to keep going. It's just, I mean, it's the same thing with Avatar. It's just a less mini series, you know, same diff.
Yes. All right. The next matchup for It's Always Sunny was The Sopranos.
Gabagool!
Hey!
Gabagool! I've never seen the
I've never seen The Sopranos.
I haven't seen it either.
So Gabagool!
So we can agree that it sucks.
Yeah. No, my friends back home. My friends back home would be so pissed.
I heard that.
I said, what about the altos or the tenors?
My friends back home would be so pissed if I said The Sopranos was a bad show.
It's a shame they're not here to say something.
Hey, if you're in chat, speak up now.
Yeah.
I know nothing except for Italian. That's it. That's all I know about the show.
It's New Jersey.
Isn't there like a PS2 game that's like bad?
It's Northern Jersey. Though.
Yeah, there's like a game. I think Donkey made a video on it.
The Sopranos game.
Yeah.
Jace has that game on PS2.
Really?
We played it. It's so.
I'm not gonna lie. I would be more interested in a video game adaptation of this show than watching the show.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe.
Is it like a drama?
Yeah, it is a drama.
Yes.
The show is, yeah.
A crime drama?
I think it's about like the mob or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure.
With traditional Italian family values.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it, but I just know that my friends back at home all consistently loved the show. And when we were originally doing submissions for this bracket, they were like, okay, there's two things we have to agree on, so there's no duplicates. Breaking Bad and The Sopranos. That's how much they love this show. And I think with It's Always Sunny, it was just kind of outranked because they didn't all vote for it, you know?
Yeah. Like, there's also something to say about the reach of comedy over drama, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone likes to laugh, but not everyone likes to feel.
Hot take.
Yeah,
Poignant.
that's great.
Yeah,
Right?
Poignant and well said.
You should put that in a tweet or something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think my group back at home just didn't really come together enough to make that one go forward. So It's Always Sunny took that one. But the next one was...
Sorry.
The next one was It's Always Sunny versus Community.
Wait, we should
Oh, yeah.
technique.
I got shot.
You gotta go like this.
That one's a crime.
You gotta like wrap it
Why?
around your finger.
I'm just
Why?
kidding. I've never seen It's Always Sunny. I just really like Community.
Community's very good. I've seen both. I don't know. Community is just very witty.
Community is very
Yeah.
witty.
Sunny is witty. Surprisingly
Sunny
enough with
is-
his brash humor.
Are we doing this now?
I do think,
It feels witty though.
from what I can gather, it feels like It's Always Sunny is more like situationally. It's more situational comedy.
It is a sitcom.
But its emphasis on the place and what's going on over the characters and.
No, the characters are important.
I mean, I like obviously the characters are important, but I feel like this is just what I gather is just like It's Always Sunny characters get themselves in like a stupid situation,
Sure.
Yes.
and then Community, it's like these people are. Well, I guess it's kind of the same thing, maybe to a lesser degree.
It's
You know-
that's sitcom formula.
You know what I
They're
do
both parodies of a
appreciate?
sitcom.
I do appreciate Community a lot for like the weird episodes that they
When,
did.
when it goes, Sunny has
Like,
experimental episodes also.
clay animation and like the paint.
Yeah,
You
there's
haven't
a
seen
clay
the
animation.
Christmas one. It's a clay animated
I've
one.
only seen like
So is
snippets
the
of
Sunny.
Community.
The Sunny
Oh, is
Christmas
it really?
is also Rudolph style animated.
They did a video game episode where everything is 2D pixels,
No way.
pixelated sprites, and Abed
That's
is like,
awesome.
"We're in a video game," and everyone's like, "What are you talking about?"
That's crazy.
Is that Ben saying that?
Yeah, and
I
then
didn't know Community.
He's
was
the one
like
that's
that.
aware.
Community does really weird stuff, and the Pillow War, like the pillow fight episode. No, oh my
I-
god,
Dude,
I don't know
Does-
anything about Community.
There's a new show that Donald Glover's in. It's called Atlanta.
Yeah.
Doesn't it do that?
very different show.
But I know it's like is it crime?
I think it's. I don't know. It's
Is it-
a drama. I
Isn't
know
it
that.
experimental with like that kind of stuff also?
I don't think so. I've not heard anything.
I've
about it.
seen there's like a parody ad of the Cocoa Crisp, Cookie Crisp Wolf, and he gets beat by a cop in it. So like I don't. It seems like it has that weird experimental energy.
Interesting. I mean I trust Donald Glover. You know.
It's 2D animated. Also, that's
especially after Community.
All I know about Community is some of the actors that were in it. Donald Glover, Chevy Chase. Isn't John Oliver in?
Yes,
Yep.
he was,
The
and then he got a talk show
Yeah.
and disappeared.
Got too busy.
Yeah. But I mean, the cast was really good. I think Shirley being in it is funny. She's the lady from Drake and Josh, and like every other show that like I watch for some reason, she just kind of shows up.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't know. I mean, I've heard good things about Community, but I don't know. My friends are always like raving about It's Always Sunny, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I can't speak to It's Always
Was Community
Sunny.
up against Sunny?
Yep.
Oh, who won?
Sunny.
It's Always Sunny.
See, good.
Yes.
All right, so
Seinfeld is next.
Seinfeld's next. That's It's Always Sunny. His journey. Now Seinfeld's first matchup was against the Mythbusters.
Never watched it as a kid.
Mythbusters?
I'm
No.
sa-
It was-
that makes me
I
sad.
I feel like it kind
love
of
it.
shows.
That makes me
I
sad.
never watched
James
Mythbusters.
is lame.
Yeah.
I knew Mythbusters wasn't gonna make it, but I suggested Mythbusters because that was one of
That's
my
it.
favorite
It's-
shows as a kid.
You don't expect it to get far, but you expect it to at least get past round one, maybe.
Yeah, but then it's up against Seinfeld, and then you're like, oh shit.
Magic School Bus. That's also Mythbusters. They're like animated and with magic.
Also,
School buses.
Mythbusters was like the only show that was more reality based. I feel like, and there was
It's reality TV.
And no one put it like
Yeah.
Bill Nye or
I
something.
mean, there's no other
Yeah.
really good reality TV show I can think of.
Zaboomafoo.
Science show?
I wish Zaboomafoo was in.
I said we should put some PBS shit on there.
Dude,
That'd
I'm
be
a
good.
Zaboomaphobe.
Yeah,
Zaboomafoo. Sesame Street. Man, Sesame Street should have been on here.
Arthur should have been on.
I'm upset.
my family at home love Mythbusters, and my mom just texted me Mythbusters over Seinfeld. We
Absolutely.
never watched Seinfeld at home.
I didn't watch Seinfeld.
So-
growing up either.
A little bit of
What's the
foreshadowing.
deal?
there,
I think
but-
I got a little too much Seinfeld at home.
See,
Does
we
your
were
dad
on
like
Friends.
You what?
We were on that Friends train.
I think I got a little too much Friends at home.
Does your dad
Yeah.
like Seinfeld?
My dad
He
watches.
seems like he would
Seinfeld.
like
Yeah,
Seinfeld.
well, because like he's old.
Jerry.
he likes Seinfeld and he put up Cheers.
Jerry.
Yo, my
What?
mom, is that you or is that Kyle texting on your phone? My mom just said Seinfeld sucks.
Like
Ooh,
I feel like
hot take.
Seinfeld is like the epitome of
What's the deal?
how to write comedy,
What's
like
his
in
full
the
name?
most
Jerry
textbook
Seinfeld.
form,
Yes.
you know? It's like
He's Barry.
That's all I need
this
to know.
character type, this character type, this character type, this character type, and you just like put them together. Same thing with It's Always Sunny.
Yes.
And
She
what
said
else
you're
are we
calling a
talking about?
cab.
Oh yeah.
Mythbusters.
But same thing as those like sitcom-y type things where it's like
We gotta give bees
here's
rights.
an interesting
All
group
the
of
bees need rights to their honey.
That was genuinely my mom that said Seinfeld sucks.
Jerry
What are you
Seinfeld.
talking about?
And Barry B. Benson.
Are you doing a Jerry
No,
impression?
it's Barry B. Benson. He's
All right.
It's Jerry
He's
Seinfeld.
like,
It's starting out like a cat.
Trite and predictable.
How did I know like that?
Yo,
All the bees
mom,
need
tell me
rights for their
more
honey.
about how much you
I also
hate
wanna fuck
Seinfeld.
I will agree with the predictability aspect.
Yeah, I mean, I just watched a few episodes to prepare for this podcast, and it just
Of
felt
Seinfeld?
very formulaic.
Yeah, it's
It's a
textbook
secret-
comedy, and
Yeah.
it does it so well.
Like,
yeah,
all these other parody sitcoms on this show, or on this like ranking, they're making fun of Seinfeld.
They are, yeah, that's true.
I don't know
It's funny to me.
if Seinfeld kind of started the whole like these characters are assholes, let's put them all together sort of thing.
Are they? I've never seen.
It's
Are
the
they like
earliest
assholes?
They are.
Yeah, they're all assholes. It's the first example I can think, and that's the
Yeah.
only reason like I would give it points for that. But like nowadays, it just feels like so predictable. Like you know exactly what's gonna happen.
I still wouldn't call it bad though.
No, it does it well. Like
the-
it's well written.
The thing that I think can speak to its predictability is my friend Grant, who is a known comedy geek about like writing and stuff like that. He got bored one day and wrote a Seinfeld episode.
Really?
He just wrote a Seinfeld episode.
That's like an exercise,
And
I guess,
he
yeah.
explained it to me. I would have thought that it was a real thing.
I'm so happy when Newman was eaten on Jurassic Park.
Yeah, no, true. I remember my first time watching Jurassic Park, and I was like, I hate that guy in Seinfeld.
And he gets eaten by
I
the
hate him.
Dilophosaurus.
Yeah, and he plays just as much of a tool in Jurassic Park.
I gotta put the eggs in the canister.
Yeah.
He's eaten in the Jeep.
And then he gets murdered, and I'm like, good. This is a good movie.
All right, so next match for Seinfeld was Jujutsu Kaisen. Which is
Oh,
an
Kelly.
JJK.
Love JJK.
Never
Wow.
seen
Did
it.
Kieran put it on there?
It's got an acronym.
Was
and
that
everything.
Did Kieran put it on there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kieran
That
put
was
it on?
that was a Kieran pick. I don't
How
know
far
if
did
Kieran
it get? Pretty far?
We
No.
made it second round.
Seinfeld
Lost to Seinfeld.
is the TV version.
Oh,
of
right.
Oh my god!
Well,
Did you
what
hear
you
what
got-
Julia
I
said?
mean, I have not seen a lot of Jujutsu Kaisen,
You're
but
right.
what I've gathered is Seinfeld just has like better action sequences as a general.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think they eat fingers in that show. So
When
it's
Jerry
just like-
Seinfeld powers up, it goes.
Yeah,
hard.
it's crazy, and he turns into a bee.
I don't know how many of my friends back home watch that the anime.
That's
so-
garbage. No, I'm just kidding. I've never seen it.
Whoa,
I
whoa,
mean,
whoa,
I
whoa.
don't know. I
It's
feel
it's really good.
I've never
It's-
seen it.
I've heard it. Yeah.
I know the animation is good.
It's like
Yeah.
it's really rising in the anime community.
What is
Please tell us more about the anime community.
You sound like me now. Kieran has a tattoo of it, so he really likes
That's
it.
true. He does have a
Do
tattoo
you
of
think
it.
that-
But that more like speaks to typical anime fans.
Okay, as I was gonna say, I didn't like it as much as other animes that I've watched, but I mean it's pretty solid. I wouldn't say
It's a good one.
It's a bad show.
Do you think
yeah.
that Kieran would get a lolly tattoo?
Is that a question we want to be asking on air right now?
I don't
Julia.
know what are Kyle's thoughts.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh.
But yeah, I
Too
haven't
much sugar.
seen.
I don't eat anymore.
I haven't seen Jujutsu
Then why don't you
Kaisen.
sleep?
You know, my
I don't remember.
my tennis partner that I've been playing with frequently is like a huge fan, and he asked me to go see. There was like
There's a movie.
There's a
out.
movie.
Yeah.
He asked me if I wanted to go see the movie, and he sent me a trailer for it. It's like
Oh, well,
I don't know. Apparently, it's good.
Just trying to make friends.
Yes, but I'm not gonna go see a movie
Sure.
about this anime. I mean, I watched the trailer for it, and it looked cool. Like the premise looked cool, but I don't know anything about
Isn't
it.
the power system super complicated?
For Jujutsu Kaisen?
Mm-hmm.
You need to speak on this because you were like
I
The
don't
only
the
know.
one.
person
Okay,
who can.
well I haven't
yeah.
watched it in a while.
Give us an entire plot
What
summary.
is the power system? What
Oh,
how does that
Lord.
work?
I haven't either.
This isn't the one with the boy with the green checkered jacket, right?
No,
That's
that's Demon
Tanjiro.
Slayer.
Right.
That's
Pardon
Demon
me. I'm
They don't
sorry.
actually
I'm
have
sorry.
powers
here.
What?
They do.
Demon
No,
Slayer
the
wasn't on
the,
here.
the elements are just
The
visual
sword-
manifestations.
The swords have powers.
I feel like if you brought any like
No, they're just animation effects.
like any person in any anime fandom, they'd be like, "This wasn't on here,"
Yeah.
you know? Like
There
my
should be-
my hero wasn't on here.
There
Are you
could
kidding
have
me?
been a separate
Where's
anime
Darwin in the
bracket,
Devils?
to be
Right,
honest.
and I would not have been here.
I would have been here. That's why I didn't do
Mob
that.
Psycho would have won.
Did
Mob
it-
Psycho should have won.
Did Mob Psycho not
Mob
win?
Psycho's
Oh, was it on this? Oh, it was on this, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. What did
Yeah.
it lose to?
Seinfeld.
That is the worst.
That's awesome.
I've ever
I'm telling you,
heard.
the action sequences are
No,
better.
I'm just
The
saying,
animation
I'm just
style
saying.
of Seinfeld.
I forgot Mob Psycho was on here because I was like,
Mob
this is
Psycho
probably my
is
favorite anime of all time.
amazing,
Jimmy
yeah.
Neutron was not on here. I'm
Mob
sorry.
Psycho. So
Oh.
Mob Psycho's probably my favorite.
Who said who asked that?
That was my mom.
Really?
Yeah.
Big Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, we watched a lot of Jimmy Neutron.
I like
back
Jimmy
then.
Neutron.
We were Jimmy Neutron over Timmy Turner.
Oh
Over
yeah.
Fairly
yeah.
Odd
Dude,
Parents?
are you kidding?
Um,
Fairly Odd
It
Parents
depends on the
makes-
kind of humor you wanted.
I feel
Yeah.
gross when I watch Fairly Odd Parents. I
What,
don't
Jimmy
know.
Because
Neutron?
it's because I think
I
Butch
wasn't-
Hartman ruined
No,
it for me.
but it's not even that. But I watched it and I'm like, this feels like an NFT.
Have you guys seen, have you seen the new Fairy Odd Parents?
Yeah.
There's new?
There's a new
There's like a
movie.
Dude, I sent it to you.
What?
New
No,
live action
not
movie.
not the new movie, the new show.
Oh, it's a new show. I thought it was a movie.
There's a show.
What is it?
And it's on Paramount Plus.
It's live action.
And it looks, I sent this to him. I said it looked like
I
something that
didn't
would
see
be
it.
created in Collab Studio.
Oh!
Can you believe they didn't get Drake Bell back?
As like a
astounded.
attorney?
Yeah.
Man.
Like, if you look, I have to see if I can find it. It looks so bad. It's
I like Julia's head
incredible
poking
how
into the.
terrible.
Yeah.
Into
Hey,
the
Julie, poke your head.
What?
Both. Come this way.
Yeah.
Say
There you are.
hi.
Hi, Julia.
There she is.
Come on,
Oh,
Kelly.
Hey,
Yeah.
come in,
there's
Kelly.
Kelly.
There's Kelly.
Yeah.
Some off-screen audience. So yeah, the next match for Seinfeld was Mob Psycho.
Dude.
Oh come on.
It was close.
It was 10-7, so it was
It
3
shouldn't have
votes
been.
difference.
Mob
Oh, God,
Psycho's
I'm so
too
sorry. Here,
good.
this is what it looks like.
This looks like an NFT. Is that Crocker?
This is a show. What? This
you
looks
can tell Butch Hartman's not a part of it anymore.
This looks like that
No.
that like Bored Ape show.
But
Yeah,
like,
it's
look at
like
the
the-
animation quality.
Yeah,
Don't
it's oh my
say
god,
that.
you're walking. It looks like an Among Us animation.
It looks. Why does it look like that?
Wow.
This is what my
This is
animation
the
for the
real-
project's
this is
gonna look
like
like.
licensed.
Good
Don't
thing-
say
Sorry.
not
This is
good.
what my animation is gonna look like for this project.
Wow, get better.
Okay, but you're
Dude,
you're not making a
look at
TV
Farm
show.
I was gonna
Facing
say you're a
Crocker.
student.
He looks like Christian.
You can't.
This fucking frame.
Why his ears down to his neck?
See, because that's the thing is, I always notice that they make a joke out of it in the show. Like, why are your ears on your neck?
Yeah,
But it
what's
works
up with
because you
that?
always
What's
view
this
them
one
like in
frame?
profile like
Yeah.
this, but now
Yeah,
you're looking at
yeah.
Crocker like that,
Yeah.
and his ears are
Ears
there,
are down
like
there.
a Frankenstein.
Oh.
Anyway.
But yeah, okay, so
So we all
Mom's-
agree
Mom's-
that Fairly Odd Parents should not have won.
Yeah.
I
Fairly
agree.
Odd Parents would have gone out in the first round. I'm
No
sorry.
tough puppy.
So Jerry Trainer.
Jerry Trainer is
Jerry
one
Trainer.
man.
He is a
You know,
man
that is,
indeed.
I cannot think of a better way to describe him.
He is one man
He is
indeed.
one-
He's one guy.
Yeah, that guy is a human.
That guy is a
Straight
dude.
up.
Okay,
Dude is a fucking guy.
Mob Psycho
He's amazing.
Oh,
versus
so good.
Seinfeld.
No man,
But
I can't.
derail.
There's no content.
I can't
Derail.
speak to
Derail.
Seinfeld at all, but I can speak so much for Mob
You don't need
Psycho.
to watch Seinfeld. Just watch B Movie. That's all
All right, well I'd still pick
No.
Mob Psycho over it because it's so well done.
Didn't we watch a few episodes of Mob Psycho in studio at some point?
I watched it with Christian.
There was
No, that's
we had-
interspecies. Never mind.
Whoa!
I watched the first 2 episodes with Christian in his dorm
NSFW.
room. I don't know if you were
Yeah.
there.
I don't know.
Girlfriend was really good.
It was in the like the main studio. There was like
We might have watched like one
Psycho.
episode.
The only thing I know about Mob Psycho is the bowl cuts. They have bowl cuts.
Yes.
That's all I know.
The main character is no one else I think can have it.
Oh, he has a bowl cut.
His name
I'm
is
pretty sure
Shigeo.
Chris Niosi
Shigeo
was
has
one
a
of the
book.
characters.
He does?
I think so.
Kerbifer, what are you doing?
For
Kirby.
YouTuber.
I almost nominated Tome.
Corey Kenshin.
Really?
Yeah, because I love Tome.
Hmm.
But I don't know anything about Mob Psycho, and
I can attest for it.
Have you seen Seinfeld?
every
That's the issue, is that we don't have anyone
Yeah.
who's seen both.
you don't need to see Seinfeld though. That's everyone knows Seinfeld.
I mean, respectfully,
That doesn't
I
mean
can't
it's good,
say
though.
that about. What are we talking about? Mob Psycho.
Mob Psycho.
I can't, like, cause, like, for all I know, I could watch and be like, wow, this is like all the other animes that I've seen.
No.
I have no doubt
It's
that
not.
it's good.
No.
The way that Seinfeld is good too.
Look, as someone
it
who-
might also be textbook.
As someone who hates anime,
No.
Mob Psycho
You don't
is good.
hate anime.
I don't like it a lot. I really don't like it.
I don't.
like
I
it,
don't
but
agree.
You know I don't like it.
I don't
Okay,
agree with your
I have
opinion about what
seen-
you think
I
about
have
something.
seen
Wow.
Whoa.
Why do we have Ishrak?
Wait, what'd you say? What?
That was
And he was just like, I don't like anime, and I was like, you're wrong.
You two
You
can
like,
switch
you like
seats.
JoJo.
then.
That's the only anime I know that you like.
I like JoJo, Mob Psycho, One Punch Man.
You like Toriyama.
It was good.
And Mob Psycho and Jujutsu Kaisen.
I don't like
You never
JJK.
seen
Oh,
Jujutsu
okay.
Kaisen?
I've never seen it.
You like
Oh, okay.
Evangelion? You like Evangelion?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I can
This is a long list of animes that you seem to like.
Well,
Out of like a million that exist out there.
Well, I could say that about anything. I mean, I guess I
It
got.
would be different if his favorites were
knows.
like Darling in the Franxx or Rent a Girlfriend.
If it was like, I like if Fairy Tail was my favorite or Naruto was my favorite.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I guess, yeah, you know, that's a good,
I like
that's
good
a good
stuff.
way to put it.
Can we get like just like a brief summary of like what makes Mob Psycho good? Because
Alright.
good because it made it to
Character
top 16.
development and
Literally-
art.
Because like a lot of like shonen battle animes suffer the curse of like really poorly written characters. Like they usually you got your like plucky protagonist, big booba side lady, right? The badass like man hero and like the badass lady hero. I don't know. It's
You
got so
literally
many-
just described Cowboy Bebop.
We'll get there.
all of shonen anime. That's the structure of like the group.
so funny. As you were like, I was like, oh, we're talking about something else now.
And then like it's always like repeating arcs about like, oh, I gotta get stronger, blah 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 blah. It's like, oh, here's the next big bad, then the next big bad, next big bad. I'm like, Mob Psycho is both a parody and yet a genuine adaptation of anime in like a very like not annoying way.
it's
It's
pretty
not
real.
tropey. Like, you go ahead.
No, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
The character development in that show is like actually really well done because Mob starts off, his name is Shigeo. He starts off as this like little wimpy kid who he has psychic abilities but he's too scared to show anyone because he has no friends. But then like they don't keep it like that's not his trope. They don't make that his whole joke the entire show. He like develops as a character and towards the end of season 2 he's super he's like confident in himself.
Kelly's agreeing.
And the animation is insane.
stellar.
It's
The
insane.
visuals are
animation's good.
out of this world.
Yes.
They're really
and
good.
the side character, I forget his name. Reagan.
Psycho.
Reagan.
Oh.
Like, it's not just Mob. All the
No.
characters have the same treatment that they give to Mob with the character development because they make them feel like real people
But he's
instead of tropey
hilarious.
one
He
side.
gives like
one note.
a comedy aspect to where Mob is very serious.
Is his
That's
name
it.
Mob?
It's his nickname
I think that
because like there's like a
I
kanji
think
that says that.
Mob Psycho does what My Hero tries to do, where they try to make it like normal society if there was superpowers, but like Mob Psycho does it where it seems like it could actually be believable, where My Hero is like, yeah, it's just anime.
Well,
But
Mob doesn't.
like they give the characters actual like depth, and they go through like a whole arc with Mob about how he feels like he needs to like be more confident in himself and not be a pushover, which is pretty real. And Deku's just like, I need to be strong.
He gets
Yeah, I was
gifted. He
gonna
gets
say,
gifted his
so,
power.
It's tough. I appreciate you putting it in the context of My Hero because that's something that I can understand. It's just that saying something is better than My Hero does nothing for me.
Well, you can assume most things
But
are better.
yeah, exactly.
I think a Mob Psycho is better than Over the Garden Wall.
Okay.
I would say that actually.
Yeah.
I think it's
Okay.
better than Over the Garden Wall.
And I
I was
hold
so
my
hyped.
in the Garden Wall.
It's very high regard.
I hold it in
So-
a very high regard.
They got me attached to Mob way quicker than they did with any of the characters from
Like
Over
100
the Wall.
for Over the Garden Wall. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
agree.
I was so,
Except for what's the younger brother's name?
Greg.
Oh,
Greg.
Greg.
I
Dude,
love
Just
Greg
because
is
he's
a
adorable.
top tier
Yeah.
character.
Greg is
Just
so
because
That is
good.
writing. That is writing.
Yeah.
So it sounds like there's like a lot of meat to Mob Psycho. There's a lot of development to like.
It's
to
very
absorb.
psychological. Like it's
Seinfeld.
Yeah, another Seinfeld.
So
Some
like
against Seinfeld.
Jerry's arc,
Dude.
I thought like that.
dude
part
when he
where-
learned how to unlock key.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, when
Oh my god.
I really the part where he put the makeup on his face and dyed his hair green and danced down the stairs.
Oh, dude.
that was
my
a really good
favorite. Yeah.
sequence for him.
I think the reason Seinfeld won is just because of like notoriety
I
and
say that,
the meme. You know, like
I mean, you can't deny that it epitomizes
That's not a good
sitcom.
reason.
It is-
yeah,
it is the
it is the
sitcom.
boiled down elements
Yeah.
of sitcom. It is
Uh,
pure.
That's
And
the
it
reason
kind of
why
established
Trump
it,
won
too.
the election.
What?
Notoriety and meme.
Oh, Julia, you're so funny.
So as we conclude,
What's the deal
Seinfeld
with the president?
Have
you seen this guy? He's orange. And he has a banana peel on his head. He's got a bowl cut. Is that a toupee? Oh, your mother.
Your
So-
mother.
What's the deal?
I want to hear Jerry Seinfeld make a your mom joke really bad.
Your mom.
Your mom.
You know
Mob
who else is
Psycho.
fat? Your mother.
Mob Psycho is a good anime to watch if you're looking for an anime.
Highly recommend.
I recommend. I think
Oh,
it's
this
better
last
than
one's a
One
no-brainer, I shrug.
Is it Futurama?
It's Seinfeld versus the OG Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes cartoon.
Have you
Because
seen
if
all
we're talking,
these?
if
One
we're
by
talking
one
about
vote.
comedy, Seinfeld just is better than Looney Tunes.
They're both
Looney
trying
Tunes
to
isn't really
cheat.
that funny because rabbits can't like talk, so it doesn't really connect.
I think we're talking about like two shows that were like
Your phone?
the
Yeah,
epitome
good job on your
of
pocket.
I think it's
comedy
gone.
in their respective mediums, right?
Your...
I mean, Looney Tunes is like
No, I think
the OG like start
It is
of
slapstick.
Show me
Yes,
the
it is.
video.
That's
The father
slapstick.
of that
I
humor.
would
Yes.
say next to Tom and Jerry, Looney Tunes is the American
Oh, it's the
cartoon.
Yes.
Like it is what it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is one of the pillars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just talking about like two
Is it the
titans
mosquito
of
one?
television in their own like they all pioneered in their own way, and I mean
Whoever put
It was
down
close.
Looney Tunes, thank you.
it was close.
Was it not you?
No, I didn't
really?
put any down.
I thought it.
Oh, why is it Kirby? Why did we put Kirby right back at you on here?
True?
Yo.
Dude, that was a good
honestly,
anime. It is a really good show.
Sonic
Tickled.
X wasn't on here. Actually, I'm glad about
Tickled.
that. I wish
Sonic,
I wish there was a good Sonic show.
Sonic Underground was it on
Sonic
here?
X, please.
I'm like okay, Sonic X.
It's good in like the. It's
I have
like,
nostalgia.
It's popcorn flick.
Wait,
Yeah, I have
wait.
nostalgia for it. It's okay, but it's not a good show. I don't think. I'm sorry. I don't think so.
It's radical.
It's radical.
Oh, it's fast.
Wait, wait.
I tried to rewatch
Oh.
it.
Wait, OG Looney
I
Tunes.
just couldn't do it.
Good
Sorry.
example right here. Okay, here we go.
We need. It's okay.
Yeah, so Looney Tunes has like the originator of all this.
They
like,
kind of
slapstick
spawn
humor.
like shit humor.
Well,
Yes.
Like the shit posted humor.
Seinfeld takes like sitcom humor and epitomizes it.
Yes.
Looney Tunes
That's
takes
so
slapstick.
Good. It's so
Mhm.
funny. I'm in the
And-
bathroom.
And just like short form comedy, right? Because Seinfeld has the same characters. I mean, I guess Looney Tunes does too, but there's a remembrance. You know?
Looney Tunes built a lot of archetypes.
Yeah. Oh
Yes.
yeah. Looney Tunes is
Absolutely.
actually to circle back to Grant, who has memorized all of these.
Grant, where you
All 40 comedy archetypes. They all go back to Looney Tunes.
Because what iteration of Daffy do they use? Because there's
I
the
have
screwball
no idea.
Daffy, and then
Yeah.
there's the cynic.
It's Looney Tunes and Simpsons are two really good places to find them
Mhm.
because you can find. I mean, Simpsons just has a really big cast, but
And they're all like stereotypes.
yeah. I mean, in this case, I probably would have given it to Looney Tunes.
It is like the fact that it is like the foundation for so much comedy, and it still holds up. Like it is still hilarious in my opinion. Like, is a testament to how good it is.
I bet that's why it failed though. Is because
it's too good.
no. Is because they made more, and it got different and sometimes bad. Like Wabbit, no one watched Wabbit.
But Wabbit's different than Looney Tunes, though.
Yeah, but it's the same characters. It's a spin-off series, and it's under the same brand as the thing. Like I understand.
Are you
separate-
analyzing the brand or the shorts?
What?
My mom wants to see the Grant presentation on the archetypes. Of
I'll
comedy.
link it to you. It's so you will not believe how unnecessarily long it is. I wrote a few of the slides,
But Looney
and
Tunes.
I think that I appear on the slide for the loser because someone made that one. That wasn't me.
Bully
So that
James.
was
That's funny.
yeah, so that
James
was
Bully
cool.
Spap.
Yeah.
Love that. But Looney Tunes did a lot of that. They did, right?
What, the archetypes?
Yeah.
They made it
Yeah.
basically for. I mean, I guess technically it goes back to like Greece and Greek theater, but in terms of putting it in comedic cartoons.
Yeah.
They built
It feels like Seinfeld kind of made that real, you know. It made it like you with Looney Tunes you have like the fantastical like slapstick stuff, right? It's cartoon. But I think one of the reasons people really like Seinfeld is because it's relatable. It's a bunch of people living in New York.
I would
and-
get on that. Yeah.
Yeah. And even though like I wouldn't really identify with any of those characters, like I might know some of those characters.
Wait, you don't see
know?
yourself in George? Costanza?
No. Dan, if you're watching, Dan's profile picture on Discord is literally George.
Yeah.
So, but like that's the thing about Seinfeld that makes it like
Well,
so
Curious-
relatable.
Curious George?
Yo, why wasn't that on there?
Curious George should have been
A
on
Very
there.
Monkey Christmas.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Yeah!
Curious George.
It was the most monkey Christmas I've ever seen!
Oh my
I've
God.
seen a monkeyer Christmas.
Anyway.
So much monkey.
Yeah, like
But
like
I was...
it's
I would
relatable.
agree.
Like you like. It feels like I would know.
In Seinfeld?
I know a Jerry. I know a George. I know a Kramer. You know. Everyone knows a Kramer.
Oh, everyone knows a Newman, you know?
I don't even know who that
That's-
is.
Oh, I wasn't pointing to
Okay.
you. No.
I feel like that's
no.
why that's why Seinfeld resonates with so many people.
Mhm.
And I mean, Looney Tunes, honestly, like it's still really good, but it has aged. I'm not gonna lie, right?
You think so?
I think so. It's just, it's unfortunate, but like everything ages, and I feel like the quality, not like written quality or like, you know, like setup or anything, but just like technical quality, like.
I think it has some of the most beautiful animation in the industry.
No, the animation's good.
Yeah.
I'm mostly, as an audio guy, I'm talking about the audio.
Okay, what about...
I kind of like the
What about
it adds
this?
to
Does
it.
this change your mind?
I think that the reason that Seinfeld holds up is that people will always do
what you're
stuff that makes them like look like a jerk.
Yeah.
You know, like everyone kind of has that moment of like, well, I made this bet with this person, and well, I think I'm good. I think that I deserve the win. And what are you doing?
I don't do she
For free?
It's an ad.
I think,
Foot ad.
and then you know you have someone in that position that says to that other character, like, no, you're being a jerk right now. What's wrong with you? And then they get themselves into some sticky situation. And I think in that regard, it kind of goes a little deeper into what happens to people in real life. At the same time, Looney Tunes, it doesn't do that because it doesn't try.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. It just kind of speaks to why it's like, I can see a cartoon character get hurt in a lot of other media, basically every other American cartoon ever. But when it comes to Seinfeld, it's like, you know, I get to watch these people be jerks to each other, and I think that the fact that Community and It's Always Sunny exist, it's taking it to such a degree that people like just going to the original because it's a little more relatable. Like, no one has a moment where, what's the name of the first episode of It's Always Sunny?
The gang becomes racist.
Right,
Yeah.
no one
like
has
that.
a moment where they're like,
I
oh,
guess
guys,
that's
remember
why-
that day where we got racist?
I guess
Like,
that's why Mickey Mouse is more popular than Bugs Bunny.
I mean, yeah, because...
But Disney
You know,
already
right.
pioneered like racism.
Hey, okay.
Oh.
Let's. I want to clarify something.
Base
So
Julia.
They should have It's Always Sunny on Disney.
They have it on
should.
Hulu, and Disney owns Hulu.
Oh,
Okay.
True.
Disney owns FX. Yep.
I just want to clarify something real quick. So when I talk about the like audio of Looney Tunes, I'm not talking about the soundtrack. I'm not talking about the voice acting. I'm talking
Sound
about
quality.
I'm talking about the sound quality. And
That's the point. That's what makes it...
and I feel like
It's part of the aesthetic.
when it's part of the aesthetic, but it's like when you watch TV nowadays, everything is so crisp. It's not really a fault of Looney Tunes, but it does, if you ask me, create a disconnect between myself and the show, and I'm not as interested in watching Looney Tunes as I am watching something more modern because it's not as clean.
Have you
There's a...
seen the new ones though?
Right, but
They're very.
The Looney Tunes show where they're like
Dude,
they're
they're
like living in
so
houses and
funny.
stuff, like that show's really
That was one show I should have put on here.
I do think that if you're watching a show and part of its charm comes from artifact, that doesn't speak to its quality as much as the time it was made.
Agreed.
Mm.
SpongeBob
I guess
is
so, yeah.
evidence.
Yeah, SpongeBob is evidence.
Yep.
Definitely.
I'll say Looney Tunes is part of the nostalgia. I'll admit some of that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
because
don't
I mean, you
nostalgia
watch
I
for
feel
it.
like I feel like Seinfeld's also nostalgia though.
True.
it is, but I don't like watch it, and I don't think like, oh, all these guys talk like this, like in the old American
They're
way,
all
but
still
they
human.
do that. They're all still human.
relatable characters.
Yeah.
But this nostalgia doesn't make it good because I was feeling nostalgic for Johnny Test, and then I watched it. I watched it and I couldn't finish the episode. It was 11 minutes, so that just goes to show it does not dictate the quality.
I felt that about Sonic X.
Well, for me, I guess the thing with these two shows is that they're both comedy shows, right?
Mhm.
And when I'm looking at that, I'm like, which one's funnier? And Looney Tunes to me is funnier. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just find it, regardless of like if it's dated or not, like it's still funnier to me. So that's why I think it's better.
This one's really subjective. Like if
It's based on comedy.
yes.
No,
If
there's
it
no
were-
right comedy.
Yeah.
Grant might have something to say.
Grant
about
probably would have something to say about this.
that. But I, like, if you sub in like Tom and Jerry for Looney Tunes, like I watched a lot more Tom and Jerry than Looney Tunes, so I might be a little
Same.
more biased,
Same,
you know.
yeah.
I love
Because they're both like, they're both great comedy shows, but they're in the similar like style and era of their
Yeah.
time, and that's where the nostalgia comes in.
I'm gonna tell Grant to join this stream, and I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell him that
do
we
it.
keep referencing him.
Yeah, we should have a counter for Grant
Dude,
references.
Yeah.
Grant reference.
Grant counter. Okay, so that was the last matchup for Seinfeld.
Where'd Futurama go?
Futurama. Let's see where Futurama is. Hold on.
We never talked about it.
Futurama.
Futurama lost to The Office in round 2.
Boo.
Wow, and like decidingly so.
Yeah.
Boo.
It beat Chappelle's show.
I think I voted for the Office.
Yeah, obviously.
Wow, really?
I've never seen it.
Chappelle's show is good, though I think that Dave Chappelle has not aged well.
Why wasn't Squid Game on there?
It was pretty good.
Stranger Things.
Good.
Where's Squid Game?
I wasn't
Should,
sure.
isn't there a segment where we talk about stuff that we were surprised that wasn't on here?
I mean, we've kind of been doing that the whole time.
Squid
so.
Game and Stranger Things.
I'm
are
kind of
pretty
surprised
good.
that I did
Yeah.
not see as much Nickelodeon.
Like iCarly.
Yeah,
Stuff like
Dan
that.
Yeah.
Schneiderverse. Like there was
iCarly or
no
Drake and Josh.
Victorious or Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
iCarly has too much feet.
Early iCarly is
I
not good.
would've
Like
made
when they
it-
are children, it is not really
He
that
put
great.
It is admittedly a little bit
Bikinis too
cringy
often.
humor.
It is.
Yeah.
But
No,
like
no, no,
Victorious
the
was
humor
funny.
is good. I like the bra part where they make a floating bra, but I don't like when they make the 12-year-olds
childish, though.
dance around in bikinis and also show their feet up in the camera.
It's childish.
No, it's Dan
Dan
Schneider.
Schneider.
flips
And
it.
Dan Schneider, yeah.
Schneider.
He's
moment.
kind of maybe tarnished the reputation of those shows.
I don't know. I mean, I honestly, looking back on it, I think Victoria Justice ruined the reputation of Victorious more.
Okay.
And I think
Why?
that Drake Bell ruined the reputation of Drake and
They
Josh
just kind
more.
of fell apart. Huh?
Yeah.
Dan Schneider didn't help with
Did
anything.
did iCarly have something like that?
I'm trying to think.
mean,
I
Sam-
think it was just
Sam-
What was up with I don't know.
Because Jen McCree was like,
She didn't like acting.
Dan Schneider was an asshole to her.
Oh, did she say that?
Yeah.
No, Danette McCurdy was like traumatized because she did not
Really?
want to act. Her mom forced her to act.
Well, I knew about that. I
and
knew.
also, I think they gave her like an eating disorder.
Interesting.
So like she did not want to be there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that
Hey,
legacy
well-
kind of lives on in the reboot, where Sam is the
She's not
only
there,
non-returning
yeah.
character,
She-
along with Gibby.
She didn't
Gibby
want
had
to
a
come
similar
out.
issue where he was
Really?
like, "I'm getting typecasted as the fat kid in everything," and that's why he stopped showing up, and that's why he stopped taking his shirt
I
off.
don't
too.
even know of anything that Danette McCurdy has done other than iCarly and Sam and Cat.
She's got a podcast. She podcasts.
Yes.
Now?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's very like happy. Like you
Aw,
can see that
that's
she's like
good.
really into it, like
I'm really glad that
life
she's
again.
Not, like she's doing her best.
Yeah,
doing
it's
her
just
best.
kind of a bummer that the only way she got out was because her mom like died.
Really?
Yeah, that's why she stopped acting. Is because her
Wow.
mom died, and her mom was the only person who wanted
Then
her
what
to
the
act.
fuck? Dude, can you imagine acting in iCarly and being Sam and being like, yeah, my mom sucks. Like, in
Oh
the
yeah, it's
show.
true. I didn't even think about
Like,
that.
yeah,
well, her
'cause
mom
she-
was Jane Lynch.
They showed her? I forgot.
Yeah, her mom was Jane Lynch.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Is that the
Her mom
coach?
shows up. Yeah,
Is that the
You're
coach from
gaslighting. That's not real.
from Glee.
Glee?
Yeah. No, her mom is Jane Lynch.
In real life?
What?
No.
No, not in real life.
Oh.
In the show.
Oh yeah, in the show. But like I don't know, in the show she has a terrible mom, and in real life she's a terrible mom. So I would be like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is kind of too method for my acting.
Too method for
Too
my acting. That's
method.
funny.
Oh man. All right, so
For Futurama.
that's kind of.
Where did Bee and Puppy Cat go? I know they probably got out in the first round, but
Where's the Donkey Kong animated show?
What?
Lost
Friends.
to Friends.
Of course it did.
Lost
I dropped
to
on-
Friends.
Hey, it got 9 votes.
Yeah.
That's so much better than I thought.
What, Beam Puppy Cat?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I just put Red vs. Blue.
Dude,
Right,
dick
yeah.
figures.
That would have been legit.
I was
I love
shocked
Red
at
vs.
no
Blue.
Chowder, no Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Yeah.
No.
See, not a lot of Cartoon Network Titans. Except for regular show's like the only one.
Regular show, no Adventure Time, no Gumball. Perhaps that was a little near to the end, but man, that show,
Nah, Gumball was
that show
perfect.
is good.
It's good.
Yeah.
That's also good.
That's the I feel like Gumball would
It's
be
a
the
lot.
type of show to make an Among Us reference.
Yeah, but like in a funny way.
In like
They
a
had
in like
an
a in like a
SJW
good
episode.
They
way.
had like a video game episode.
Like they would make an episode about like an Among Us type game coming out and just being so
Like satirize it,
prolific that
yeah.
it takes over everything.
They made an episode about gentrification.
Yeah.
They did?
Yeah.
Where they become humans, right?
Yeah, they become humans,
Yeah.
and they're like, hey, stop taking over our area.
And like the guy is like Trump. It's literally just Trump.
Yeah.
Topical.
Also
No
fun.
Animaniacs.
No, nope.
OG Animaniacs pretty good.
OG Animaniacs. Oh, you hump, you do it?
OG man,
Yep.
What did you
OG Animaniacs was quite good.
Talking Sims right now. Yeah, I was just surprised by the lack of like Cartoon Network grades. That's why I put regular show in there.
No hole in the wall.
No, you know
Oh,
what?
crap.
Where's
If I had the room,
Where's
I
dude?
would've-
What would happen, bro?
Yeah.
Right.
Destroy, build, destroy!
Let's go.
Wow.
Classic. That's good. Andrew WK.
Andrew WK.
Andrew
You know he's
WK.
dating the girl from Thor, the girl who played the intern in that one Thor movie. You know what I'm talking about?
Darcy.
I think yeah.
What's her? I forget her actress
Was
name.
she the
She was
one
in
that
Two
was
Broke Girls.
also
or-
in
Yes,
WandaVision?
yeah, that girl. They're
Okay.
they're
I forget her
like a
actress
couple,
name.
which is a really weird thing to me.
Did you know that Elon Musk likes to live below the poverty line?
What?
What? What
Is
does
this
this come
real?
from?
Let me have my Jim Halpert
He
moment.
cheats
Yeah.
sometimes.
That's funny. You're funny. Dude.
Oh man.
It's true.
I don't know if there's any other notable like matchups in here.
Rip Futurama still.
Futurama.
I'm surprised that
Kat
Cheers.
Dennings.
What's up?
My mom says Kat Dennings is the actor or actress.
Oh,
I think.
your mom should be on this show.
Yeah, mom. How about you call me?
But,
Yeah.
I'm surprised Cheers made it as far as it did.
Me too.
Because my dad
Old
put it
ass
in,
sitcom.
and I was like, Dad, no one is gonna vote for this. I hope you understand. Like, it'll be.
oh,
cool.
your dad put that in?
My dad put in Cheers, and it went through.
It beat Attack on Titan.
That's awesome.
That's good.
It beat Attack on Titan.
What did?
Cheers.
Some old ass sitcom.
What is that?
It's
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 like
an
a-
old
Exactly.
old sitcom with like
It's like a pioneer.
great theme song.
It's like one of the pioneers.
It is one of the first like prolific sitcoms of its
Yeah.
time.
Oh.
It's about just like people who hang out in a bar. The only thing I know from it is whenever the guy Norm walks in, they go Norm. That's the only bit that I know.
Norm.
She said, "What
I
is
thought that was Friends.
What? What are you talking about?
What's
I
up,
don't
Friends?
know.
They don't say Norm in Friends.
Oh.
They say your mother.
Friends?
They say Bazinga.
Yeah. No
No.
Big Bang Theory.
No Big Bang
Thank
Theory.
God. I feel like if Big Bang Theory was nominated, it was gonna get memed all the way to the top.
Dude, thank God Big Bang Theory wasn't on here, but Young Sheldon was, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It was. It was.
Who is that show for? I still
Your
don't
mother.
I
know.
don't know.
I still don't know.
What is
Um,
Big Bang Theory?
Bing Bang Baby.
Bing Bang.
I like Bing Bang Theory.
Bing Bang.
It's a show about us nerds and geeks.
It's yeah.
We watch Game of Thrones and play Atari. World
like-
of Warcraft?
it's like-
I like The Flash.
My name is
Yeah.
Nicole. Welcome to my soda review.
Yeah, yeah. Yo, what's up, soda lovers? that is a great account.
Do they actually say Bazinga?
Yes.
Big Bang Theory?
Yeah, Sheldon.
Oh,
does.
yeah.
Like, in real life, like they say it?
What are you
No.
talking about in real life?
Like, do they say it really?
Like the
No
actors? No.
No, like they say Bazinga, like for real?
Some
What are
people,
you saying to me?
Some people say
Like, it's
Bazinga.
scripted in the script.
Yeah,
Yes,
they say
it's
Bazinga
scripted.
in the show.
Like, what is the reaction? Like, what are they reacting to when they say Bazinga?
Anything.
It's
My mom just died.
Bazinga.
It's just a catchphrase. It's like wubba lubba dub dub.
It's like,
Yeah, no,
like
literally.
Zooey Mom.
Zooey
Yeah.
Mama. Those are all parodies. of
And I'm
that,
like,
yeah.
wow, Bazinga's so dumb, but people say Wubba Lubba Dub Dub and Zooey
Yeah.
Mama in
Yeah.
different media as
Yeah, but they're
well.
Where
parodies.
was Rick and Morty?
Oh,
Oh,
true.
true.
Where's Rick and Morty?
I don't like that show, so I'm glad.
You don't like it?
No.
It's pretty
Why?
good.
It's too negative in my
Too
opinion.
negative?
There's not a happy moment in
That
it.
is fair.
I kind of
Yeah.
like that.
It is
About
very
that. I kind of like shows like that.
See, but here's the
It is
thing:
quite
is that
nice, yeah.
I'm tired of like the people who are like, but that's just like real life, and I'm like, get over yourself. That means you need to go outside.
I mean, when you like explore those philosophical ideas, I guess.
Shut up, Ishrak.
it's not easy to stay positive when you explore those philosophical
being green.
Look,
It
I
ain't
mean,
breathing with
Not
Rick
because-
and Morty.
clearly my brain is not big enough. Yo, the
Rick.
Muppet Show. Though. If we're talking about like cast, celebrity guest, archetypes,
The Muppet Show should have
the
been
Muppet
there.
Show. Yo, the
Yo.
Harry Belafonte episode, I laughed my head off. It was so
Yeah.
funny. He just sang the banana song, and people kept bringing in bananas. Like just so many bananas, and they got it wrong. It was so funny.
Hey,
So funny.
Mom, where was the Muppet Show? We watched that all the time as kids.
Did you? I never watched it.
We watched
Yeah.
the shit out of that show. It was-
Really?
Yeah.
I only ever watched the Harry Belafonte episode, and I was like, this is the best show ever.
Love that show. I mean, they had like, you're right. They had a crap ton of celebrity guests.
Well, because that's the Muppets
It's a
thing.
it's
yeah,
Yeah.
It's like
that was the Muppet Show, and they
It's the
had,
same with
like,
Sesame Street.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
You know the character Zoe from Sesame Street?
What's up?
Zoe.
Yeah.
Is she autistic?
No, that's Julia. No, that's not a joke.
No, I know
The
that.
character named Julia on Sesame
No,
Street
I
is
realize.
autistic.
But
Yeah.
is Zoe also autistic?
No.
She just
I
has
don't
Rocco.
think so. She just has Rocco, yeah.
That
She's
sounds
schizophrenic.
I mean, I
She
don't know.
has DID.
I think it's just supposed to be kids with imaginary friends.
Yeah.
Okay, but Elmo is obviously in the realm of reality, so you can tell it's not real.
Are you? I mean, yeah, but like, I think that the point is like he's not learning to get along with people, like, and understand that
Okay.
some people have imaginary
So it took
friends.
him like 30 years to get to learn to get along with people.
Yeah, that's the point.
Isn't he always 5 years old?
He's like 3.
I think he's 4.
4.
Sorry.
Please check yourself.
He's a toddler.
4
Yeah,
and a half.
he's a kid. All I know about Elmo is that he's like 4. He has a dad, and his uncle is dead.
And he has
Yeah.
a show with
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon.
He had. I don't know if they still do it.
Well, it wasn't a show, was it?
Yeah, it was like
He
a
had
talk
his own
show.
He did like a little talk show.
Really?
Mhm.
Like
On
Nighttime
HBO.
Elmo or
Huh.
something.
That's cute.
There was like a few episodes on it.
Elmo, I mean, like, straight up the Muppets, Bert and Ernie are the funniest thing in the world. I'm sorry, I'm talking about
Gay
Sesame
icons.
Street
No,
so
it's fair.
much.
That's fair.
But my sister,
They're
I think it's so good. My
brothers,
sister
they're
got me a
gays.
Bert and Ernie book for Christmas because I think that the scenarios are perfect. They're so funny. They're
I
so
thought- I
funny.
thought
Bert and Ernie
brothers.
wasn't really my thing. I wasn't
They're not
really,
brothers?
I thought they were. Are they
I thought
not?
they were fine.
No, they're roommates,
No, they're just
and it's many people see that they are gay, though it is never like.
Yeah.
Said.
You can sort of just tell with those things.
Well, the reason I like Bert and Ernie so much is because Bert is just like trying to live, and Ernie just does everything to ruin this guy's life.
It's SpongeBob and Patrick. Or SpongeBob and Squidward.
Yeah, I know, but like, Ernie kind of knows what he's doing is the thing where he's like, I'm gonna ruin this guy's day.
Well, Squidward does that sometimes also.
Oh yeah, I thought you meant SpongeBob tried to ruin Squidward's day. SpongeBob's too oblivious to know what he's doing. Anyway, should we get back to the actual bracket?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, let's do that.
Your mom.
Let's get over here.
What? What I
Can you say
suggest
that? Can you say a little louder for the class?
Yes, your mom. I might also add as a suggestion your dad.
So which Looney Tunes archetype is Ernie?
Oh, which character would
What
he be
archetype is Ernie? Wait, let me pull up the PowerPoint.
Like? Oh, what character would he be like?
What stage of the hero's journey is Ernie?
What,
Right.
what Looney Tunes characters are just like
Okay.
Squidward?
Oscar
There is a
the
term for
Grouch.
Bugs Bunny. It's like
What's up, Matt?
it's like something like the Omniscient or something like
Ah,
that.
he is God.
Yeah.
I just sound like Elmer Fudd right there.
something like that. Bert and Ernie. Bert is the everyman.
Ernie.
Bernie.
That's number one, and then
Bernie.
Bernie.
I would say that
Bernie
Ernie might
Bernie
be.
Sanders.
Oh no, Bugs is the trickster,
Trickster, yeah.
like the mask.
Adam Sandler's.
Yeah.
Bernie Adam Sandler.
What do you
Bernie
say?
Sanders Adam
What do-
Sandler.
Okay, we've gone completely on.
Let's
one.
write it in.
Did any
Let's-
Adam Sandler movies get on the bracket?
Click.
No.
Should have been on there.
No.
Pixels.
Where's my ring?
This is a TV show bracket. Okay, let's get on to the final four. Okay.
Sure.
So, our first matchup is Cowboy Bebop versus Avatar.
That
I've not seen either.
Never seen either. I'm gonna think. In my mind, from what I've seen, I feel like Avatar's better.
I think
I
might agree.
I've seen.
I don't know enough about Cowboy Bebop.
I grew up with Avatar. I've seen it multiple times, and I've seen a little bit of Cowboy Bebop. When you guys watched it, and when my friends watched it back home.
Bebop.
Yeah, I have seen most of Cowboy Bebop. I'm almost done with the series, and I have seen all of Avatar. I can say, I mean, I haven't finished Cowboy Bebop. I have about 5 episodes left, but I can say that I'm pretty sure Avatar is the tighter show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that, like, the thing is that I didn't grow up with either show. I when I was a kid, I thought Avatar was lame, because I did not like the art style very much.
Okay.
And
You
it's
hate
it's
anime.
still not my favorite. Yeah. I think that it works really well because the action is really good in that show. But I think that both shows succeed well at world building.
Mm-hmm.
I think that both shows have a good dynamic, but I think that Cowboy Bebop's is a little sloppier because sometimes I wonder why certain characters are there. If that makes sense, they kind of like
Fill in a gap or somewhere.
not even it's less of like fill in a gap as much as it is like insert a character that just doesn't need to be there. Like they're trying to fill a gap that just
Extra
isn't there.
topping that's
Yeah.
unnecessary.
Yeah, like the character Ed, I get it. Like in some situation, I don't know if you guys know this character, but it's for character archetype. It's the kook. It's
crazy person.
It's the Kramer. It's that type where it's like
Yeah.
it's this kid, and I think that their gender is ambiguous. They never.
Was the red hair kid?
Yeah, it's the red hair kid, and it sort of kind of speaks to how enigmatic this kid is trying to be. Where this is at a time where it's a boy or a girl. Like there was gender stuff was not as progressive, but
Yeah.
this kid kind of used it as a vehicle to be more enigmatic, and they just do weird stuff, and they're a tech nerd, and that's kind of their whole thing. And they're just kind of there sometimes, and I don't get it fully. Also, Avatar has, like, what the end goal is from the first episode,
Mm-hmm.
and even the filler episodes along the way are pertinent to what's going on. Cowboy Bebop starts with filler episodes, which works to establish characters. Granted, it only starts with 2 of the characters out of the 4.
Is it Spike and
It's Jet and Spike.
Jet and Spike?
Yeah. And that works. It's just that, like, I don't feel like I'm getting into any character arcs until halfway through the show. Granted, that's only 13 episodes, but with Avatar, I knew it from the theme song.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I don't know. In that regard, like, they both have good world building. They both have endearing characters. One of them has, I think, like, a bit more of an edge in character dynamic. But Avatar's structure, I think, is stronger.
Okay.
Also, Cowboy Bebop does win in music. Like, the style of that show is good. And
it's iconic.
It's iconic, and it goes beyond the music, where the bumpers between commercials are these interesting visuals. It's just graphic design, but it's really, really good designs. I would say artistically, Cowboy Bebop gets the edge, but in terms of a show, you're gonna get better content in Avatar.
Cowboy Bebop I've never seen, but it just gives me like the vibe that has too much horny.
It doesn't.
That is unnecessary.
It does not. And that's why I can get through the show. That's why I don't like My Hero, is because it's like...
too much horny?
Yeah, it's unnecessary. I mean, granted, Faye's outfit in Cowboy Bebop, stupid. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's what I mean by, like, unnecessary horny.
It's ridiculous, and I think it kind of has an American edge with that, where, like, you'll see a guy, like, in his spaceship, like, sitting and, like, smoking a cigar, and he'll have just, like pinups, which isn't, like... classy, but it's not like in your face type thing. They use it in a very Americana kind of way, and not like a look up our characters online later kind of way.
People do that anyway.
I mean, people do for Faye, but there's no jiggle or anything.
Are
like.
You sure? 'Cause
yes.
I saw a GIF of Faye from the show.
I mean.
And it was like all she was doing was like going up against the wall to dodge bullets, and her boobs went in every single direction on the Z-axis.
I mean, maybe I haven't gotten there yet, but as far as I can tell, it's before contemporary anime like really ran with that idea, and you can watch it and ignore it at the very, very least. It's not they don't use it as a selling point at all.
Right. I feel like Avatar just has that one up because they give every single character their own story and their own like representation, and they're not making them something to be consumed. It's more like something to be appreciated.
Yeah, everyone's got their own thing going on in that show, and that's why
I've never seen either of them.
Yeah,
it's just what I get from like what I have seen from like other people.
I think you're right, and I mean, again, I haven't gotten to the end of Cowboy Bebop, where I feel like the arc is just starting. For Faye kind of seems to have the most arc in this show. Or Jet, I really can't tell. Like, that's what I mean where the structure is kind of weird, because we kind of started Spike's arc, and then stopped, and now we're on to Faye's. It's still, like, easy to follow, it's just that, like, it doesn't feel as intentional. I'm sorry I'm talking so much.
No, you have the most knowledge out of all of us on this, so it's completely fine.
Both.
Yeah, I mean, Cowboy Bebop decidedly gets the edge in artistic direction, in my opinion. But Avatar does win in content and structure.
Story.
Yeah.
Like, which characters do you care more about? That's usually what I chalk it down to. Like, how well can the writers make you really care about the characters and what they're doing and like what their objectives are?
I think that I care. I'm invested in the plot of Cowboy Bebop. I think it's a very good show, and I'm excited to see like what happens next. It's just that I don't know if the next episode is going to talk about Spike's arc or Faye's arc. Is the thing, and I could do without Ed still. Frankly, I still don't know why that character showed up, other than to be goofy.
Which one?
Ed.
Is that
the little redhead kid? Yeah.
I've never seen it, so I don't know any of their names.
Yeah, I just their name is Edward. And
Edward.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I sparkle in the light.
Yeah. Anyway.
Go ahead.
My vote goes to Avatar, though. I like Cowboy Bebop. I still think it's wildly overrated. Currently on Letterboxd, it's like the top rated thing.
Top
period?
Anime?
Yeah, I think it's either that or like the top 4. No, just ever. Anything on Letterboxd.
Ever?
Wait, let me double check.
I vote Avatar.
Yeah.
Avatar just gives me like it's for everyone, and it's not targeted to like a specific audience. Anyone can enjoy it.
Cowboy Bebop is currently the 6th rated highest thing on
What's the
Letterboxd.
highest?
The highest thing.
Godfather.
This is like this looks like a
Pulp
short or
Fiction.
something. It's called A Dog's Will. This
Oh,
I don't even know what this is.
Is it
This is a
beginning?
concert.
It's a concert.
This is another TV show, I guess. These are all like really weird underground stuff, and I think that's why they're so highly rated. Is because they have like 1,000 reviews of like a dedicated fan base.
Mhm.
And then these are a lot of live shows, and then you get to Cowboy Bebop, which has a 4.6 out of 5 with 30,000 5-star reviews. Yeah.
So
And then next is a BTS concert.
lovely.
So it beat a BTS thing on Letterboxd, which kind of speaks to how highly rated it is.
You know what's interesting to me is that like my opinion of the two is kind of similar, even though I haven't seen as much Cowboy Bebop. Like I think
I've never seen either, and I share the same
They're
opinion.
Yeah.
very similar. In my opinion, they give off the same like. They're doing a similar thing, but I think that I like that Cowboy Bebop doesn't have to be as kiddie, just because that's the nature of the show. And I
Yeah.
think that makes it more engaging, perhaps. But I think that's structure-wise, Avatar just like
yeah.
it was like the whole show was planned before it was written.
Yes, like Avatar feels like a more whole experience. It was complete, and they didn't really like. Just everything felt like it fit, you know, and it was all good to watch. And like, I too think that Cowboy Bebop's like visuals and aesthetic is a little better. It's a little more like it sticks in your brain.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
the mute like I remember watching it with you, and there was a scene where there was a piano song playing in the background, and you said this music is too good for this scene.
Yes. Yeah, that's I mean honestly kind of the truth.
Yeah.
Like I remember the episode was they're like mining rocks. I don't know. They were like going through an asteroid belt or something.
In Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I mean, this is just like a normal like action scene in a cartoon, and then the music was just like going off. And I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, like okay. Or it's like, yeah. I don't want to knock Avatar's soundtrack because I think that's also really good.
Mm-hmm.
But like, everyone knows the theme to Cowboy Bebop, you know?
Yeah, I think that Avatar has Leaves from the Vine, which is like good,
Yes.
especially for the scene that it is paired with. But the thing is that like every action sequence is made so much cooler in Cowboy Bebop by everything. Other than that, I would say Avatar kind of sounds sort of stock music, where I'm like,
Yeah.
they just pulled like.
I mean, like Avatar, I feel like it's not so stock that it's just like all orchestra, you know, like an Avengers movie or something, right? But like it has a theme.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it
has a
sounds
theme.
like it comes from the world.
Exactly, and I think that's what makes it good. Now most of the soundtrack isn't really that notable, but it just fits in so well.
It is cohesive.
Yeah, that it gets good marks from me. Even if there's only like a few notable songs in there, but Cowboy Bebop is just like all like, at least from what I've heard, it's like
It's all really good.
Yeah.
What do you think, Ishraq?
Anime.
Yeah, right?
Anime.
Yeah.
Is Avatar an anime?
It's an American cartoon.
Cartoon. I call it
I think that
cartoon
it
anime.
depends on what you define as an anime. If
Yeah.
you say that it's Japanese made, then no. But if you talk about the art style, then I would say so.
I think
They
that
call it
anime
cartoon
has
anime.
to be Japanese.
Yeah,
I mean,
then
That's why like
It's also Korean.
that is
Well,
the only
there's
barrier
Chinese
holding it down.
anime, but they specifically call it Chinese anime. They don't.
it's
call
like
it
stuff like Teen
anime.
Titans is like
Interesting.
it's a cartoon still.
Yeah,
You
if
can
that's the
call
only
it-
barrier, that's the only thing holding those two shows
You can
shows
call it
back.
American anime, I guess.
Yeah, that's in my opinion.
So I call it cartoon
honestly.
anime. Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's like actual anime though.
I will also say, in my opinion, this is another point for Cowboy Bebop, and perhaps it's kind of minor, but for Avatar, it felt as though once you got 3 episodes in, you were kind of into the groove of the show. Like, they found their visual style, they found their humor style.
Yeah.
And the first 3 episodes kind of had some moments that kind of made you go like, that was kind of not fun.
First few episodes are a little wonky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Cowboy Bebop is like, you're in it. Like,
Okay.
you know.
First episode kind of just sucks you in.
Yeah.
You're like,
First episode, it's like, this is a cool action sequence of this guy chasing this person. Granted, it's kind of shallow. Like I said, it's kind of filler at the beginning to
But
establish
if it's a good
what's
hook,
going
that's
on.
a good hook.
It's a great hook. And in my opinion, it had me better than Avatar. Maybe that's just because action is easier to get sucked into than like dialogue with this boy who fell
Finding
into an
Yeah,
iceberg.
giant ice thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when they're described in the theme song.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I want to get some votes in. This form I sent out for people who aren't going to be here is actually dead even
Wow,
on
really?
Avatar and Cowboy Bebop. Yeah. So the audience or the non-attendance vote is like kind of moot at this point. So, I'm gonna go Avatar.
I'm going to go Avatar.
I go Avatar.
Same.
All right. It looks like it's pretty unanimously Avatar. Everyone in chat saying Avatar too.
Mhm.
So there you go.
Leagues from the line.
Bro.
That was a good episode.
It's so good.
All right, and then it's Always Sunny versus Seinfeld.
I'll step out.
Look, like there's another syndrome here, like similar to like
Syndrome.
what syndrome,
Syndrome.
kind of like what we brought up with
Oh, wait, Sherlock, am I taking you home after this, by the way?
por favor.
Poor favorite.
It has the same syndrome with Cowboy Bebop and Avatar, where like Cowboy Bebop, I don't want to say like suffers from its time, but like, you know, it has the anime, it has some anime tropes. It feels
Yeah.
more anime than like Avatar feels more like appealing to a widespread audience.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's ironic for me to say that about Seinfeld and It's Always Sunny, but like Seinfeld feels like, you know, you watch it because it's a product of its time.
Yeah.
You watch it for what it is,
Yeah.
not necessarily because it's amazing, but because it is like the grandfather, or like it is
Yeah.
like a parent.
I might disagree with that. I don't think that Seinfeld relies on novelty.
I never watched it, so I can't say.
Okay.
I think like
I don't ever go see it
When
for
I'm-
its novelty. I don't. From what I've seen, it doesn't seem too funny.
I think that's what gets it. I think that might be what like a person our age would like say like, I want to watch a new show. Oh, I know Seinfeld was popular back in the day. Like it might speak to getting new fans into it. But I mean the actors got paid like tens of millions per episode for a reason, you know.
yeah. I mean, what I would say is that like Seinfeld, it didn't really. It set its boundaries, right, and it didn't really. I haven't seen a lot, but it didn't really go outside of its own box.
Let's say, how formulaic is Seinfeld?
I watched a few episodes and they were all kind of the same plot.
That's the thing with Sunny, is that it uses, because it's a parody of sitcom. Like, it's straight up, that's the goal of It's Always Sunny. So it realizes how formulaic, like, actual sitcoms are, and it uses that to an advantage in the sense of each episode. It's kind of like the regular show thing where, like, every episode feels different.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, it still finds a way to reset the characters every episode back to their normal states,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is really funny. And, like, it's more entertaining to see the subversion of the genre than, like, the actual genre itself, almost, in this case, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
That's funny.
It's Always Sunny is kind of like regular show. It's like
That's what I said. Yeah.
yeah,
There's
you're right.
a lot of people who are jerks, and then got thrown into a weird situation.
Yeah, exactly. They all like they work at this bar and then they go do some crazy and then at the end they just end up where they
Back-
began. Yeah. But with Seinfeld, like It's Always Sunny is not afraid to like go out there and do something crazy, and Seinfeld doesn't really do that. Now, it's not to say Seinfeld is necessarily worse for doing that, because I think Seinfeld, what it did was it stayed in its own box, but it got really good at doing what it did, right? It refined that so much, and into like every joke is like so like
It's good.
it's
Like,
good.
It is textbook good. Like
Yeah.
you cannot argue with the fact that like they found a way to make comedy like objectively what it is, right?
Yes.
It follows a thing that has been proven to be good for years.
Is this Seinfeld versus Philly?
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want to say, Seinfeld is to Band Kid as Philly is to Redditor.
That's like, you know what?
Okay.
That's fair. That's fair.
So take that as you will. Whatever you think is worse.
Wow, then I just vote Avatar.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, James is not.
You know,
Okay.
mean your nuts.
Would anyone
I
care for a
dropped
nut?
I'm a pancake.
Who said that?
Kyle.
Oh, Kyle.
Kyle says he also votes Seinfeld.
No,
Like
incorrect.
there are moments in Seinfeld where like the formula is so refined that I knew what was coming, but I still thought it was kind of funny because it was just that well done, you know? Like they...
Can I tell you about an episode that I saw that really speaks to this?
Sure.
Just to give a brief summary. Basically, let's see if I can fully remember.
What's the sperm content in these nuts?
What are you... What?
What the fuck, Julia?
I saw you look at me, like, getting ready to say it. Like, I saw it building up in your head, and you were like, yeah, this is what I should
Yeah.
say, broadcasting.
No.
Yeah.
Enough,
What do you mean?
enough.
What do you mean enough? I like that. Was a good thing. I like
Eat
that.
the nuts. Anyway, I saw this episode, and I knew what was coming from a mile away, and what it was Jerry and George. George's mother sends him like this candy, like in like a care package of some kind,
Mm-hmm.
and they talk about like how kind of like silly it is, and George is like, I don't want to be treated like a kid anymore, and like that sort of thing. And Jerry's like, yeah, you know, I agree with you. And so they go to his place and they
What's it with the
Yeah,
old
more
mothers?
respect.
I don't want no care package.
And Elaine is kind of left in Jerry's apartment, I guess, and Kramer comes in and elaborates on this thing that's gone wrong with him, where he says, I'm in a legal battle for something that's totally not my fault, and I'm pissed about it. And Elaine's like, well, that sucks, I'll help you out. And he kind of explains that these corrupt things that these lawyers are doing. And so Jerry and George go back to George's, and they try these candies that the mom sent him, and they are like delicious. They are so good. They're like these apple cider gummies or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, well, these are really good. And then they're like, well, just one more. And they finish the whole bottle.
Yeah.
And at a point, they're looking around for, like, you know, the apartment or whatever, and they do independent research to find where this came from, because they don't want to admit that they really like the things to the mom and just ask where they got them from. And Elaine goes in and realizes that Kramer has developed something that is just so awful and putting a lot of people in the hospital, and that's why he's in legal trouble. And she's like, I don't want to be a part of this anymore.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, this product that Kramer's developed, it's just like put a bunch of people in the hospital or in the doctor's office or whatever.
Yeah.
And so Jerry and George bite the bullet. They're like, let's just ask your mom, because I need to know where this came from. And so they ask the mom, and she gives them the website, and the address links to Kramer's house, or Kramer's apartment. And Kramer has developed these apple cider gummies that just rot your teeth out. And that's what got him in the legal trouble.
There you go.
And that is the Seinfeld episode that Grant wrote.
No way! That sounds like a real episode.
Yeah.
That sounds. Wow.
That was all fake. He wrote that whole thing.
Hey, you got me. You got me.
Which I think I say that just to speak to, he knows the formula.
Yeah.
Like, and it speaks to like
Grant?
So I don't know anything about the show.
They
so
know
I
the
just
formula.
like
Yeah.
it.
It's Always Sunny though. Perhaps it would be easier to write a plot because you could do anything.
Yeah.
But you gotta understand how the characters will work in it.
You can understand how there's more variety in being able to do anything. But anyway, I thought that was just a fun little prank.
Yeah. I feel like any episode of It's Always Sunny is a little riskier because, like, the formula for It's Always Sunny is to, like, do something crazy, you know? Where, like, you could write a Seinfeld episode and, you know, nothing in there was, like, that out there except for, like, you know, Kramer's character is to be the crazy guy, right?
Yeah.
And there you go. And like, so writing us, It's Always Sunny is a little more. Could be good. It depends on if it hits or not. You know, like audience reception to an It's Always Sunny episode is a little more. Could be good or could be bad. Whereas like a Seinfeld episode is a little more like.
After seeing, like I know like Sunny is at like 14 seasons now. I remember when I first watched it when I only had like 10, and I went through the first 7. I don't think there was really an episode that missed. Like most of them were consistently all funny.
I don't think
Were they all funny? And I'm sorry. Go ahead, Drew.
I don't think Seinfeld does episodes of hard drugs. That's why I went Philly, because there's an episode where they do LSD, and I thought it was really silly.
I mean, yeah. I feel like I like it shouldn't be a penalty against Seinfeld for not writing what is within their like scope of
Yeah.
reason, right? Though if Jerry did like LSD on an episode, that would have been hilarious.
Yeah.
But I do wonder like what your guys' opinion is on like does It's Always Sunny, does it lean on like shock value? Like if that
I
makes
think so.
sense where you think so?
I mean, the episodes that I watched,
I think it
yeah.
depends because most of the episodes I think depend on you seeing these terrible people getting their comeuppance, and that's what makes it funny because you're not really supposed to like the characters. The only character I really like is Charlie. And maybe Frank.
Frank is funny.
Because
Well,
they're
it's
both
just
Danny DeVito.
Well,
Yeah.
Charlie's a bad person, but not because he realizes he's a bad person. But Frank is just a bad person, and so is everyone else. But like, you see them get their comeuppance by being terrible to each other, and that's basically the punchline. So you're not like watching terrible people like get like benefits or like win in the end. They almost always lose at the end of the episode because like, guys, we could make like our own Chinese food restaurant, something like that, and that doesn't work out for them because they're like racist.
Interesting.
That's
Interesting.
I was gonna say the power of Sunny, the fact that it can, cause it thrives in the mundane. Like it is, the whole point of it is not. It's not like a regular show where like it gets super fucking bombastic or crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It uses the mundanity of like what your basic sitcom plots would be, and
Right.
finds a way to stretch it out to a scenario that you would never think of. But it's because these characters are so fucking off the rails.
It's parody.
Yeah, exactly. It's not flanderization. It's just, what if you made these typical sitcom like characters just bad people, really bad people,
Mm-hmm.
and throw them into typical sitcom situations.
You get a lot of satisfaction from them getting their comeuppance. Like, I remember one episode where Dee was being absolutely terrible to, like, a really, like, Cricket.
Mm.
And she was basically saying, like, yeah, I can just, like, he likes me, so I can make him do whatever I want. And then she got what she deserved at the end. So it's, like, satisfying in that regard. Because you laugh at them being terrible, and then you laugh at them, like, getting punished for being terrible.
I mean, I guess to me that kind of sounds like generic plot where it's like a person does a bad thing and learns their lesson,
They
even
never-
if they don't
they
learn.
don't.
It's just that like they're faced with a thing where a normal person would be like, damn, I'm not gonna do that again.
But then even then, like, it's not like it's never. It is very rarely that it's a righteous comeuppance. It's like, oh yeah, the obvious good guys come back and.
Oh yeah.
It's always painted in Sunny that everyone in the world sucks. Like, it's just that these people at this bar they're bad people who are idiots.
Yeah, I think that they're just stupid.
They're
And that's
stupid.
why their plans never work.
It's because they try to, like, do these, like, schemes to get more money. Or, like, there's one episode that I really love where in their office, they have a water stain that's in the shape of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, we can make money off of this. We will capitalize off of this. And through their own idiocy, they ruin the operation.
It sounds like every episode is, guys, we can get rich off this.
Not even, because, like, there's an episode where we watched recently where it's, like, they're like, what do we do today? And they're like, oh yeah, we made this board game a while ago.
I want to play the board
And
game.
let's play
We
it.
should play
It does, like, the community things where it's like, it doesn't just do, like, oh, let's make fun of like a sitcom plot. It does original things also that, like, are really funny, in my opinion. Like, there's an episode where it's entirely a musical parody.
Mm-hmm.
Where, like,
And
Charlie
what's
directs a
What's
musical.
the one where they're like, oh, I like that one a lot. What's the one where they're like, they go back in time or something? And, like, Dee's like a princess or something.
Oh, yeah, they do a historical parody episode also.
Interesting. I'm not convinced. I mean, like, I've never seen it, right? And I can't imagine that your description like it captures the essence of the show like entirely, obviously.
No.
But like,
It's a formula I'd rather watch than the Seinfeld.
yeah, it just kind
I
of
don't even
seems
know
like,
what
do you want a formula that that has inflections like this, or do you just want one that's
Yeah.
and in that way might
well,
be
I don't
more,
even think
might
also
be more
be-
related?
I don't even think it's like Seinfeld. It's more like a, would you rather be at like a level that's like calmer, or would you rather be on a high octane adventure?
What?
That's what I mean by inflections are like really big extremes.
What is the plot structure of Seinfeld? Because I've never seen anything about the
It's
show.
assholes who get their comeuppance in the end.
So it's
Yeah.
pretty similar to Philly, except for Philly, they're just way more offensive.
Yeah.
Kinda, and that's why I asked about the shock value, where I was
That's-
like, do people just watch this over Seinfeld because they want to see people do crappier
I-
things?
No, it's funny.
I will
I mean,
admit that
Oh no, I don't doubt
Yeah.
that. But like, is it
Not because-
funny in the way that Seinfeld is, and then it has a hook of,
No.
you know, why watch Seinfeld when you could watch the gang
So-
get racist?
I think it's a bit of both.
Sure.
I think because It's Always Sunny has no boundaries, or at least like way less boundaries than Seinfeld. There is inherent shock value in their comedy, because it's not what you would normally
So you
see
don't
on
see
a TV show.
so you don't see people do that in real life.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right? You don't even see people do that on normal TV. Like you would never see a lot of this It's Always Sunny episodes in like a Seinfeld style, right? And I feel like that's where the shock comes from. And it has the same, like, you know, they get their comeuppance and they never learn. And but I that's why I think it's both. I think there is shock. Whether that's good or bad, you know, that's subjective. But
I don't think it's a crutch though.
yeah, I think so. If you're like starting to watch It's Always Sunny, it can be like, it can be kind of like the center of their comedy to like, to me when I started watching, I was like, oh, this is just shocking humor, right? But then the more you watch it, the more you get used to it, and then it just becomes like a funny show, you know. Whereas like Seinfeld never really has that, because it's just the you know, like basic sitcom humor.
It's consistent.
Yeah, but it's not as extreme, for lack of a better word, as It's Always Sunny. So you never really get that shock, at least as far as I know. But yeah, so I think
Yeah, but
It's
when
always funny,
Seinfeld
yes.
shot up an airport, I don't know.
George.
I feel like even though Philly is super offensive, and like you could watch it, and like, you know, I'm lady, and like they always
Wait. What?
What?
You're a woman.
You're just telling us this now?
I didn't know.
Like they make a lot of misogynist jokes, but I don't really get offended by them because the way they portray, like Dennis is like a ladies' man, right? Like he's like the definition of I have no respect for women kind of character. But I don't really get that offended by him because they're making fun of Dennis.
Yeah.
He's not like the hero. And
Yeah.
He's not like, people don't view him as a good guy. They're framing him as, this is a douchebag.
But the thing is, they do the same thing in Seinfeld.
yeah, Seinfeld is
I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I never watched Seinfeld once.
It's just that like it's a case of Seinfeld crawled, so.
Alright.
I guess
so
it
Philly
just comes.
can run.
This is another case of like, these are two shows trying to achieve very similar things. It's just, what do you prefer? Do you prefer the more like?
Yeah,
I prefer
They
like
have
the
a-
more like outlandish kind of like.
Yeah.
guys,
Okay.
I'm gonna say it. Comedy might be subjective.
Oh!
Yeah, I think it's like they have similar setups, but it's the type of comedy that you prefer that might split you between the two. Because when I watched the two back to back, right? I watched them earlier today, and I went from It's Always Sunny to Seinfeld, and It's Always Sunny was
Oh,
like,
you went from It's Always Sunny to Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
just because I had heard of I heard more about that,
Mhm.
and it's Philadelphia, so
Right.
but
And you're that breed.
I am. But It's Always Sunny has a lot more of that like wild element, and Seinfeld is very dry. The writing in Seinfeld feels like very like dry and sarcastic.
It's to me why I prefer Parks and Rec over The Office.
Seinfeld is just not Parks and Rec. The Office mixed with Philly.
Seinfeld?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say so. I don't think Seinfeld is cringe comedy.
Which one is cringe comedy? Philly or Office?
Office.
I think
Like
Office is all like
100%.
dry.
No, Office is cringe. From what I've
What do you mean cringe? What
when
is
you
cringe?
it's just like you're seeing these people do things that like you would never want to see someone do that.
You're
You-
watching a guy promise a group of kids that he's gonna pay their tuition when they get older, and then you watch him tell them that he can't.
It's
That's
it's
funny.
a lot of
It's-
secondhand
it's-
embarrassment.
Yeah,
It's
that's what it
secondhand
is. Is it
embarrassment.
makes you
Oh, yeah.
cringe. It makes you
Yeah.
wince,
I see
and
what
it's.
you mean. I see what you mean.
But I don't
Not
think
every episode
that.
is like that,
A lot of characters
Not
make me
everyone.
feel like that.
I think
Yeah.
so, especially when Michael makes like womanizing comments, like often.
Michael makes me feel like that constantly. I don't know why people like him so much.
I don't either. I don't find it funny to like make it physically difficult to watch it. We already talked about The Office.
Yeah, we did. But yeah, I think for this matchup in particular, we have talked extensively about how they actually are kind of similar in terms of setup, but it's the type of comedy, it's the type of interpretation of that setup that can influence your preference on which show.
There you go.
Wow.
So I think it just comes down to like, do you like dry wit, or do you like more?
Sunny has tried it also. I feel
They
like.
do.
Yeah.
I feel Seinfeld is like founded on dry wit and
Yeah.
like sarcastic comments between characters, and it feels like at least the few episodes of Sunny I watched was like the characters were kind of like trying to fuck each other over to keep them all in the same place.
That's true. They always like to screw each other over.
Do you know
Yeah.
do you know the crab in a bucket theory?
Yes, that I was
Yes,
going to mention
it's
that.
exactly that.
Yes.
It's if you put a bunch of crabs in a bucket, if one tries to escape, all the other ones will pull him back down.
Yep, that is a lot of Sunny.
So yeah, it comes down to preference. So what do you guys prefer?
Well,
Seinfeld
Never
or It's
seen
Always
Seinfeld,
Sunny?
But I've seen B Movie. So I can make my judgments on Seinfeld based off of B Movie.
That is a flawless logic.
doesn't
True.
because doesn't like Seinfeld, like Jerry Seinfeld, just play Seinfeld when he's also acting as Barry? Because
Are they similar
I've heard
characters?
that he just like plays as himself.
Kinda.
Playing as
I would
Barry.
say that the characters might be similar, but I mean, obviously the structure is
Oh, is it-
Yeah, but like
completely
I
different.
could probably say that Barry B. Benson is just the persona of Jerry Seinfeld.
I mean, if
No.
you want to.
Knuckles cakes.
Wow.
Knuckles
From
Kid.
whom?
All right,
All right. Well,
James,
Oh, thanks.
what's your
for making me start.
You're to my right, so.
I mean, I've seen Seinfeld. I've really seen none of It's Always Sunny. I know what like Charlie Day looks like. That might be the extent of my knowledge.
What about does our conversation influence you anyway?
Dude,
I feel like it wouldn't be fair.
I
For
think.
what?
Because if he hasn't seen It's Always Sunny, why would he?
Yeah,
I mean, just but for the sake of making
Like,
things interesting.
if you watched It's Always Sunny, do you think you would like it?
He wouldn't know that.
I mean, you can't know. But
based off of what we discussed, I think that if I wanted a lot of what came from It's Always Sunny, I could watch Community.
okay.
I mean, I guess I could say the same thing about Seinfeld.
Mhm. Sitcoms.
Yeah, it's almost like they're all the same. Man, why wasn't Big Bang Theory on here? True.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'm
here-
gonna go with Seinfeld.
Okay.
Yeah, just because I mean, it obviously I can. It's the only one I've seen, so I acknowledge that it's probably not fair. But based off of what I've heard, if it's a sitcom that has greater inflections in being goofy, and like how radically, what's the word that I'm looking for, like bombastic, it can be. There are a lot of parodies of Seinfeld. Seinfeld is Seinfeld.
Seinfeld is Seinfeld.
I don't know. It feels like a weak thing to like say like, oh, but it was the first.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's your preference.
Yeah.
I like Sunny better.
Yeah.
All right.
Like,
It's what you said is like you say that Seinfeld is like the first of its kind, but like
it doesn't matter.
because like Sunny just does it better,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion. It's
No.
all my opinion, but like I just think it's funnier and does what the sitcom needs to be funny. Because
Mhm.
if it's not like trying to push itself, I find it boring. Like I
Fair.
find The Office kind of boring because it does do different scenarios every once in a while, but it's the same thing more or less.
Yeah.
Sunny has like a pretty wide reach for being like a small thing.
What's your vote?
I'm gonna say Sunny because I've never seen a character quite like Charlie Day.
There.
Charlie Kelly
Fair.
in the show.
Is it Charlie Kelly?
That's
I
his
keep
name in the
mixing
show.
it up because they have the same.
They
first name.
Same name.
for any reason? Does he have a music career?
No, his name's just Charlie. And
Interesting.
Everything that he's
Charlie
in.
Kelly's the character's name. Charlie Day is the actor's name.
Is it the case for any other characters?
No.
Interesting.
Well, no, the other ones are pretty predictable. Charlie's pretty like out there in terms of like
Oh, I'm just talking about names.
names.
Yeah.
Mac is pretty out there also.
No,
He's pretty strange.
He's like more normal than Charlie.
He's a mix between Dennis
Charlie
and Charlie.
eats cat food
Internet cut off.
to make himself
Shocker.
like pass out to fall asleep.
I'm still recording though.
That's what But yeah, Corey.
So from the little bit that I watched, the only thing that I can say is that I didn't actively hate anyone from It's Always Sunny in terms of like quality of writing. But when I watched Seinfeld, I fucking hated Kramer.
Yeah, I
Kramer
never liked
sucks.
Kramer very much growing up.
He's the, hey Jerry. He opens the door and he's like, hey Jerry, what's going on?
Yeah, I have a bit here where I open the door like Kramer. He just like flies the thing open and like runs in and he's like, "Hey Jerry, I have this new idea going on, and I think we're gonna make a ton of money." Like in It's Always Sunny character.
He's always on caffeine.
Yeah, he just like kind of like shakes. I don't.
Like 10 cups of coffee.
It doesn't make sense. I don't get it.
He's the
I don't
kook.
get it.
Clearly, you don't understand your comedy
Of
archetypes.
course,
But
yes.
That's why I think Charlie Kelly's better, because he's also like that, but it's more like he doesn't understand that what's wrong with what he's doing. Which is why it's funny, because like he thinks that what he's doing makes sense.
That's the kook. Yeah, they're both the same thing.
I'd say, I guess
I
what Seinfeld achieves is that what Seinfeld's doing with that joke is that it's like, oh, it's funny because he is the kook. Philadelphia makes fun of the trope of the kook. It's like a double layered kind of thing.
Like Charlie Kelly is like, he is the kook character, but he doesn't perceive what he's doing as crazy. He can act normal, but the things he says just seem so nonchalant. Like he mentions things normally, and you wouldn't like. It's like, oh yeah, I just like, I killed like 7 cats today, and then they're like, what? What do you mean? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Denim chicken.
I wish that I could like search for words on my phone so that I could look at this PowerPoint for anything from It's Always Sunny to see if anyone.
PowerPoint?
This is the archetype PowerPoint.
Oh.
Yeah.
Denim chicken. We love that stuff.
Just
So-
look up like a clip of Charlie Kelly, and you'll like.
Well, I wanted to see if anyone
That
put
makes
any
it really
characters from.
Green Man.
Green Man.
Green Man.
Day Man.
Okay,
So my
wow.
vote goes to It's Always Sunny, so that makes it through.
Let's go.
So
So it's Sunny versus
it's
Avatar.
Sunny versus
I have my
Avatar.
vote.
I'm gonna say
I'm
Avatar.
sure we have.
Really?
I haven't even seen it. I just know. I just think it's a better show.
Wow.
I don't even
I
need
think-
to watch it.
Well, I lose then. I feel like I know who Corey's gonna vote.
We have our. I think we have our votes, but I want to quickly go over like
Why?
what. Not even just why. Like let's sing the
Well, my
praises of
reason-
Avatar a little bit, and the same for It's Always Sunny. Okay.
My reason's pretty simple.
What is your reason?
I haven't seen Avatar.
Okay, fair.
Yeah,
I can't judge
it's the
it fairly.
same thing for me, I guess. I like if I had to speak to why I like Avatar though, I would say the only thing holding it back, in my opinion, is like the fact that it's a kids show. Otherwise, they would have free reign of the content completely.
They get
So-
kind of dark in it though, don't
They,
they?
they do. And
They do.
one thing I wanted to mention that might actually be a point of comparison between the two is that,
Strange.
which is weird because they're totally different shows, but
Charlie
like
Day's an Airbender.
Avatar feels like a subversion of the typical like Nickelodeon cartoon show, and It's Always Sunny feels like a subversion of your average sitcom. And so, like Avatar, it's a cartoon on Nickelodeon, but it gets moody. It has like a real big overarching plot with a beginning, middle, and end. Whereas like most Nick shows are just kind of like, this episode of Fanboy and Chum's show.
Oh my
Get
god.
the
Can you
fuck
elaborate on
milkshake.
subversion of a show from Nickelodeon? Like, what do you mean by that?
It's not like it's not episodic.
Do you mean parody or
Not even like it breaks the
It's
mold.
different.
it breaks the mold?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It definitely.
I would say it is like one of the first episodic cartoons.
Yeah, it like
got really
it just
popular.
feels weird that
Sorry,
it's on
narrative based.
Nickelodeon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, if it wasn't a kids show, they really like they could go like when like you're right, they do some stuff that's like kind of dark,
Does it need to be an adult
but it,
adult show?
no, it doesn't need to be. But like what I'm saying is, it does stuff that's like kind of dark, but like it sure would be nice to hear more about it, but we can't because that's not kiddie enough,
Right.
Like there's a part. I mean, this is this is a Korra example, but it's same kitty
I thought Korra was more adult.
kitty style.
I think it is.
Yeah.
They do more bloodbending.
I
stuff,
guess
don't they?
I don't know. Like Korra's more adult because it's about politics, but
Yeah.
there's a scene in Korra where a person gets suffocated because someone air bends the air out of their lungs.
Isn't that also bloodbending like way more prevalent in Korra?
I wouldn't say like way more. Honestly, I kind of like pushed Korra out of my head a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. The bloodbending thing in Avatar is like there's a really cool episode about it. That's it.
The Katara, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure that like, I mean, we can speculate on what could be, but I think Avatar played around the kids show like being on Nickelodeon pretty well.
Yeah.
Like people don't necessarily die, but they like disappear. You know what that means.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. Keep going.
That's basically all I had to say.
Yeah, the thing about me saying like if it wasn't a kids show they'd have free reign, that translates to I could get to hear more about the stuff that I want to hear more about because they made such cool stuff in that show and I want to hear more about it, but they couldn't go deeper.
Like the war politics.
Yeah, I'm like I want to know everything about this world, but they couldn't talk more about it.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I feel like Avatar could have been like Naruto. Or like Naruto, I've never seen Naruto.
It
or
does have clan
Avatar,
politics.
But Naruto seems like since it's an anime, they go a lot darker, and they have I don't know if they kill characters.
People have died in Naruto.
But like I think that
Isn't
kind of
Kakashi?
like
I'm pretty sure Kakashi dies.
not super crazy graphic, but still like dark, and you can show death. That kind of thing I think would work really well. I've never seen Naruto, so I don't know, but that kind of vibe where it's like we feel comfortable with killing characters explicitly and not just making them like vanish. That could work.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna vote for Avatar just because I think that it's a show I've never seen, but I think it's a show that objectively more people will enjoy than Philly.
I kind of agree with that, to be honest.
I would agree, but I don't know if that speaks to the success of a show. 'Cause
I'm thinking critically. I'm thinking just like the show itself.
Yeah, I think that like we talk about like is this show good? What good translates, and I mentioned this to you a while ago, is that good kind of just translates to does it succeed at what it is trying to be?
Mm-hmm.
In that regard, Avatar definitely does, in my opinion. But I can't speak to It's Always Sunny.
Well, that's the thing, right? I think It's Always Sunny is probably. I can't think. It's probably my favorite sitcom.
Dude,
I can't think of anything better.
Equate Philly to Avatar though.
That's the problem is that they both.
Well, but neither of you have seen
I'm trying
Avatar,
to-
Even
and I haven't
so,
seen It's
I
Always
don't
Sunny.
need to watch Avatar to know that I don't think that Philly holds a candle to it.
Really, that's strange.
Yeah.
Because they're both achieving very different things. So it's
What do you mean? The first episode of Avatar is also called "The Gang Gets Racist."
Yeah. Game drops the animal.
The Aang gets racist.
It's.
I think there's more like.
Yeah, you've seen both of them.
I mean, I've only seen like a few episodes of It's Always Sunny.
Sure,
Where is
it's
Avatar?
more than
Where?
both of them.
Based on
I've seen a few episodes.
Like, the It's Always Sunny episodes that I watch, like, they hit pretty well.
I do know all the plot of Avatar though.
But I can't. It's way harder for me to speak to the quality of It's Always Sunny because there's so much more content period than there is Avatar. Like, Avatar is 3 seasons, right? You can watch the first season, you can watch the first few episodes of Avatar, you get to that like 3rd episode or whatever, right? And you know what kind of quality you're getting, and it's kind of just like that.
That is.
And it's good.
I say
Yeah.
length does play in like how good something is, because like that's another huge difference is that Avatar was meant to be like, it's this one story
Yes.
and it's supposed to have a beginning and an end. Sunny is a situational comedy where it'll keep doing as many situations as possible. It will have an episode of it.
Yeah.
It's the monkeys in the typewriter.
I would not like Over the Garden Wall if it was more than what it is. If as soon as they added another season, I'd be like, this is bogus. I would not want to watch this. And Avatar, it's like that thing of like it is so well contained in what it is that it's just successful. There's no better way to describe
You know
it.
what sets apart Philly from Avatar and
I can think
my
of a
personal
lot of
things?
things.
Like,
You haven't even seen Avatar.
No, but I don't need to tell this to tell you what I'm about to say. So I could turn on an episode of Philly I haven't seen yet in the background while I'm working and just have it play, and I wouldn't feel obligated to pay attention to it. But I feel like if I were to watch Avatar, I would be compelled to pay extra attention to the episode, and I wouldn't feel comfortable with having it just play in the background as background noise unless I'd seen it before.
Isn't that just the circumstance
That's
of the kind of show?
interesting because that's how I watched Avatar.
Really?
I did work and I watched it at the same
So
I
time.
don't think I'd be able to do that.
Isn't that just the circumstance? Of
I
the
found
show
it. I
also?
found that like the best way to do it actually.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like, just not pay attention to it?
Well,
then?
No, I did pay attention to it. It's just that like, I don't need to look at visuals when the characters are just talking.
That's fair.
So when the action sequences start, I sit back and I'm like,
You know, the animation in Avatar isn't like the best ever. You know,
I think
I know the
the
fights-
action is
The
great.
fight
The
scenes are
action's great.
amazing, Yeah.
but we're talking like quality. Like, I mean, I think like Korra ups it in terms of quality and animation, right? Even though I think Korra is a worse show objectively. Just
Yeah.
the animation.
Story-wise.
Yeah, but like we're talking like this is a first go round for this studio with this type of show, and like I'm sure Nick wasn't really that willing to give it that much of a budget, and I think the
I
animation
said
shows
the
that.
budget is.
Evidenced
Yeah.
by Fairly Odd Parents, the reboot,
Yeah.
showing on Paramount Plus,
Um,
animated with MS Paint and Windows Movie Maker.
We do all agree that Avatar should stay like sleeping and should not be awoken again by Netflix and what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't know about that live action.
Well, I'm intrigued honestly
It's
because
live action, right?
yeah, it is, and I'm interested in what live action in that show would look like.
Have you seen any M. Night Shyamalan scenes?
No,
Yeah,
but
live
if
action
I mean
movie.
I know how it turned out, and I would assume that they're doing everything they can to not do that.
Do you know the scene? I know they're not trying to do that. There's a funny scene. The scene where the Earthbenders like rise up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so
then there's
like,
like a little.
so yeah, in the show, like I've seen the clip where it's like they like summoning like columns and pillars to like fight off,
Yeah.
and then in the movie it's like they're all doing their moves. See a little boulder.
They do like 5 moves and
And like it like smashes in someone's face, just
Yeah.
it, like
That's
knocks it back, and I'm like
awesome.
it's so.
Then I can't wait.
Yeah.
I don't think that Avatar needs to be put to rest. It's just that like they're in danger of not living up to something great that they've made, which
Yeah.
is what
Why don't
happened
they
with
just
Korra.
They should just do the Star Wars thing and make it an Elseworld story inside the same universe.
Yeah, it's still kind of cheap, but like
I mean, if you have a world that's so rich where you can do that kind of stuff, why not take advantage of that?
What's
Yeah.
what I knew about Megamind? Because if you have a really good story, you don't need a sequel. They're
That's
giving it a
fair.
TV show anyway, just because TikTok made Megamind popular again. And I will
I
watch
say
it
Avatar did have like that kind of
because
resurgence.
it's supposed
yeah.
to be directed by the same person who made the original movie. Or like, there are people who work in the original movie working on it. And it's supposed to be like a Megamind vlog, which I think is really funny. Go watch it. But like, I don't think...
why wasn't the Megamind show?
I mean,
Like, Megamind doesn't need a sequel because it wraps itself up, which is what I think Avatar does. I've never even seen it, but I know from what I've heard from people, like testimonials, they say that it
Yeah,
wraps
the story
itself
at this
up
point.
pretty well
Wraps itself
without
so
Korra.
well. It does better without Korra.
Like you don't
Yeah.
like you don't need a sequel, and you don't need to explain more things. You don't leave anything
So-
unanswered. You can kind of leave things like maybe vague enough, but like with enough context clues for people to figure out. Okay, this is probably what they're trying to say. But most of the things, like you don't leave any plot holes, or like you don't resolve certain things for no reason. You just sort of you wrap it up really nice, and everything gets resolved, and everyone gets their own arc, that kind of thing.
I kind of like that about Avatar. Like, I feel
So
like
that is a good thing. That's a plus.
I feel like Korra actively made Avatar worse by clarifying on aspects of Avatar's world.
It ruined so much of the mystique.
yeah.
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 Like you can wrap up certain things, but you can also leave things up to the imagination.
That's what happened to Star Wars.
With context clues.
Literally what happened to Star Wars in the
Yeah.
Force. They're like, oh yeah, it's your cellular biology.
So I
He's actually made of blood, and his whole body has no bones. So that's why when he got his arm cut off, he had blood.
Oh yeah, I remember.
oh the thing
yeah.
of like it's the only enemy
Yeah.
who like doesn't have
Who
his wound
bleeds, yeah.
cauterized or whatever.
He's just full of blood.
So when I think about Over the Garden Wall, I think about how like I don't want more of this show. I want it to just stay as it is, and I want it to live in my mind like just as it is.
Mhm.
With Avatar, I do want more, And that's the thing. And I when it's like, I do want more. Oh, so you liked Korra? Well, no. I want more good content in this world is the thing. And
of course, it's set in the future also.
it is set in the future. Aang is a character.
I like that.
Yes, but he's
like a
character.
spirit or something.
Yeah,
right?
he like comes back as a spirit, and it's all mumbo.
Is that him with like the beard?
No, that is his son.
Like,
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, voiced by J.K. Simmons. But
So Korra's not
voiced by
related
yeah,
to.
it's J.K. Simmons.
Wow.
Korra's
Yeah.
not related to Aang.
He gets around, dude.
He's
I
in
thought she
everything.
is.
Yeah.
Is Korra's not related to Aang?
No, she is just the next Avatar.
Okay.
Oh wow.
But I'm like, I want more content in this world because I want to experience more of what this world has to offer. But like, you could say, like I assume you guys want another season of It's Always Sunny. What if I told you it was bad?
Well, look, that's the thing, right? Like,
It's like
you
no
could-
one wants bad content of the thing
well,
that they like.
I could want more content for Megamind
Yeah.
because I love Megamind.
Yeah.
But it doesn't need more content.
No.
And more content could ruin it.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think
but
Sunny
it
has
could
that
also
problem.
not. It's
That's true.
the thing.
That's why I'm like, I'm gonna watch this new show that's coming out
Yeah.
to dictate, could this show that's already been wrapped up pretty well
Oh, like a story.
could it still be added upon with this new show?
Right, and that's what I'm getting is that Over the Garden Wall wrapped up like well in a way where I'm like, I don't want more of this. I actively do not
I
want
could
more
have
of this.
I think I could have more.
Garden Wall.
But
The ending.
I'm
left
just
lots of
offering it
questions.
as an example
Okay.
of my opinion. But for Megamind, it has you wanting to come back. Avatar has me wanting to come back.
Right.
It's just I think that speaks to it's a long lasting show.
Avatar doesn't really do that for me.
Really?
I'm totally fine with Avatar being what it is. And
Yeah.
It might be a nostalgia
I
thing.
want to clarify, I am too. It's
Yeah,
just that like I could
don't
go either
care
way.
for any more world building or whatever. But I'm interested in you said this while they were talking. You said that Sunny doesn't have that problem
Of like,
Running out of content.
of like what if the next season's bad? Because that's something that I worry about with a show that's been going for that long.
I'm a big
Right.
SpongeBob fan.
it's funny to me because like, Sunny is one of those shows where I kept watching it and like, the quality never did. It got better honestly as I kept watching it. And like I said, I watched from till season 7 when there was only 10 seasons and now there's 14. So like I have a whole other half of the show to watch.
Yeah, we haven't
But,
seen
like,
later seasons.
From what my friends also tell me, like they've seen all the show and they still think like Shali
Which friends?
and them, like Shali and them.
Degenerate friends?
Yep.
Okay, but like
Yes.
And they're saying that
Yes.
the later seasons of Philly are good. But how do you know that if you haven't seen them yourself?
I've seen a few episodes, sparsely,
Okay.
but like not enough to be like, oh yeah, this later season are still great, but like they still hold up. They do get more strange, and there's like actually they're starting to do more heartfelt episodes, where like do you care about spoilers?
I kind of care about spoilers.
Well, they give
I don't think it's worth it.
they give a character like development
Okay.
in the context of the show, and that's the thing, right? Sunny has a lot of wiggle room to do things. Like since it's been going on for so long, it's like, oh, if you really wanted to decide to give like a character an arc and be serious for a second, we can, and like it won't ruin the quality of the show. It's like if we want to revert that, we can, and then they can do whatever they want to, and it'll be fine. I mean, like obviously, like no one wants to see this go for like 30 seasons.
So
yeah,
isn't
but
it-
what I'm getting at is that doesn't seem to answer the question of like, what if I told you the show got bad?
Well, do you think there's something about Sunny that skirts that problem, or do you think that like Sunny has just has good writers and that has kept it going for that long?
I think that's part of the reason why it's been so consistently good is because the people who write the show, like, they made the entire show. Like, there's like only a few people responsible for running the show, and they keep a really like tight ship when making stuff, and so that's probably why it's so consistently good.
Well, like the point of like Philly and what makes it so alluring is that the characters are not likable. So if you give them development, as much as I love character development, if you give them the development and become good people, you lose the aspect of I'm laughing.
Well, it's
at
not
every
even like
person.
I don't want to spoil what happens. It's not even like it's like they're good people. It's just like you understand the characters more.
So
'cause, like,
they give them like
Cat's
backstory
Cradle.
for why they act the way they do.
Partially, yeah.
Okay.
There's some backstory. There's more like you actually delve into the instead of them being one note like parrot like parodies, haha, of the sitcom, because the sitcom already does the one note character. They actually delve into psychology of what would it be like to be that kind of a person, actually, in a world, like in a real world, in a society.
Yeah, I think that
I'm not trying to say it's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say it's better than Avatar. Like I said, I haven't seen Avatar.
I don't even need to see Avatar to know that I just know that it'll be better than
It's to me it's too much of like, it's not even apples to oranges. It's like apples to nuclear bombs. Like they're so very different things. It's like I can't say which one's better because they're both they excel in what they need to do.
I feel like
That's probably why they're both here.
I feel like we're kind of strayed away from the
Yeah.
main.
I mean, just as a last note, I would be interested to see if Sunny keeps going and eventually it changes hands, what would happen to it?
I feel like they wouldn't let that happen. I feel like they'd be like, all right, if we're done, they're done.
They would just act.
I feel like these creators are like, all right, we're done.
Like Jerry Seinfeld did with Seinfeld.
Yeah.
That might
Ironic, right?
like time might be kind to It's Always Sunny, as it has with Avatar. I think if it ends like that.
Ironically enough, It's Always Sunny's kind of it feels slightly timeless.
I would agree. I watched like some of the older episodes and I didn't really
I think
notice
they
its
hold up,
age. Yeah.
Like it has that VHS quality, but like regardless,
just-
it's still like the humor still holds up to like modern like societal commentaries.
I think it's really valuable when a show knows when to end.
Yes.
Because then it really just tells the audience, like, we care less about making more money and more about making a really good, impactful story. Because if you can wrap up the main, like, gist of your story with, like, 1 or 2 seasons, that's all you really need. Like, yeah, like Gravity Falls, like, it's really short, right? But it wraps itself up pretty well.
Gravity Falls is one of those shows where I'm like, I could see more.
I don't think there were any Disney shows on here. Were they?
Surprising.
You might be right. You might be right.
So Gravity Falls is like the
We
one
can look
show.
it up later.
Bro,
I think
Where's
Steven
that so
Universe
rated?
is pretty good. It wrapped itself up in like I think five or 7 seasons. Future might not have been needed.
Yeah.
Future seemed a little bit extra, but I think that Steven Universe wrapped itself up pretty well.
It all depends.
All right. Let's get into the vote. James, what's your vote?
Your mother.
Yes.
I like Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Oswald.
I'm
the
gonna
octopus?
go with Avatar.
All right.
I mean, again, I have not seen It's Always Sunny.
This is one of those shows where it's just like, eh.
I mean, yeah, there's not much you could do, but
It's literally just down to preference.
Well,
yeah,
I'm
that's the whole
curious-
point.
I'm
Do you
curious
prefer-
about the chart, though. I will say.
the chart.
Do we get to see a chart of Avatar versus It's Always Sunny, or is that not?
Oh yeah. I can show that in a
Oh,
second.
okay, cool.
It's just like, do you prefer like subversive sitcom humor, or do you prefer more story-based like fantasy,
Yeah.
kung fu fantasy? Like, it depends on my mood.
Well, don't look at the chart yet. I don't want
I'm sorry.
It depends on my mood.
So are you?
Ishraq?
I'm gonna go with Sunny just because like that's the only one I can fairly say like I'll go for that.
Julia?
It's a really hard pick. But I'm gonna go with Almost Naked Animals.
That show was
No,
so
where's
good.
my gym partner is a
The
I was
monkey.
really thinking
Yeah.
about that one. I was like, which one's funnier?
My gym partner is a monkey.
No, I think I'm gonna go Avatar.
Alright.
I haven't even seen it. I just know that.
What if we tied? What would happen?
gotta fight.
Usually, if we tie, I phone like a random person and ask them.
Phone your mom.
Is she still watching?
She's voting. Yes. I'm voting for Avatar.
Yeah.
And our chatters are voting for Avatar. So Avatar wins. Avatar is the official PodShack best TV show
I'm
of all time.
so
Trademark
not
copyright.
surprised.
What's the next PodShack theme?
Whoa, already?
I
Well, I want to see the chart. What does the
first
chart
one
look like?
movies?
What was it? Was the first one movies or was it album?
The first one was video games.
Video games.
And then
What
I
was
did movies, and then albums, and then TV shows.
that? Oh, what can you do? You can do video games again, I guess.
I might come back around to video games because it's been a while.
I remember suggesting that, and then
Dude,
ban
what
whatever
about
won
board
last time,
games?
Yeah,
and then put that against the winner of this new one.
not a bad idea.
Do board games so we can do Uno versus Scrabble.
Ooh,
No, that might be board game.
That's not bad.
What is a good card game?
Okay, like a
that.
It's hard to work
Tabletop
at.
game.
That's a tabletop game. There you go.
Y'all are
Oh, the D&D is
Physical
king.
game.
y'all are
You can't beat
sleeping
D&D.
on. I can't even think of a bit for this. Skippo.
Skippo.
Yeah.
Of
I
all
remember
the card
Skippo.
games you could think of.
Dude, oh my god, that is the family card game at my
Yeah?
house. Yeah.
I remember having a
Apples to
GBA
An Uno card and
Skippo dual.
I think we have
Dual
5
card
decks of Skippo at our house.
Wordle?
Alright. By the way, the absentee vote handedly went to Avatar.
Yeah, wow.
Makes
10-2. So,
Makes sense.
Avatar is our winner. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Have
sir.
you done like actors or actresses yet?
No, I haven't done any like.
Rank
That would be
people.
I
interesting.
was thinking about doing like YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Like
best
directors?
people.
Best people. Best people.
See, TV, you could
Promote
easily do
YouTube.
games
The
and
bottom
movies
of the
round 2.
list is
Yeah.
Mussolini.
Yeah, I don't know what else you could.
What about video
Dude.
game characters?
Top 10 cement mixers.
Or franchises.
Franchise.
Like which
Top 10
franchise
things.
has the best
Top 10
games?
things.
Top 10 thing. Yo, top
Chicken?
things would be pretty funny.
Top things.
Like top objects.
Sliced
just
bread.
like anything.
things.
So you like
Nouns.
The-
sliced bread.
The wheel.
Syntax.
Oh,
The
Plaster.
Plaster.
The telescope.
You know, the stratosphere.
Toilet.
Uh,
Indoor plumbing.
white dwarf stars.
I was literally about to say something like,
Like
super giants,
like
you know.
and like
Dust bunnies.
lawn chairs, you know.
Yeah.
Lawn flamingos. There's a lot here.
No.
D major 7 chord.
Traffic cones.
You know, I would love to hear
That'd
your
be
case
funny.
for that against like those cheap frosting cookies.
Lockhouse.
All right.
No, big
Anyway.
fish.
Paint. Yeah,
Thank
like
you
beta
guys.
fish.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm glad this one was a lot of fun. It was
In depth.
up there. I mean, it might be like the best PODSHAK madness we've done so far.
I'm glad most of my favorite shows are on there. I'm sad that they're all weeded out so early on.
Yeah, I mean, it's always rough. Like you get
Because Peacemaker died pretty early also.
yeah, we have 64 slots, which sounds like a lot, but when they actually start eliminating, you
They
see
go from 64 to 32.
yeah how many good shows there are.
What did you guys put up?
I didn't put up
I
anything.
didn't put anything.
Oh, okay, well.
I'm just lucky that a lot of the shows that I liked were on there.
Same. Yeah, Arcane was on there, and it was.
I'm sure
one
Karen
of
put
them
that
was
on there, yeah.
Arcane versus Mob Psycho, and I was like,
Mob Psycho's better.
Psycho.
What did you put up, Corey?
I put in regular show, Mythbusters, and Smiling Friends.
Smiling friends.
Have you been watching that?
I did. I watched. It was great.
Yeah.
My friends.
I wanted to see
I've been
how it
wanting
would do.
to.
Right there.
I wasn't sure because it's so new, but you know.
Charlie gives me Corey mixed with Ishrock vibes.
I identify with Charlie.
Please, we should just get the fuck out of here. I can't talk like Charlie. I can't talk.
No one can talk like
I can't talk like Zach.
I did like about the album thing that I got a lot of good albums to watch out of this. So
Like the Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze sound.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've been hearing that
exactly.
too.
No, like I still listen to stuff from that bracket. And so now maybe I'll have a good TV show to
King
go
Crimson's
to.
always a
Yeah.
classic.
Yeah,
What if
Kim
you did,
Crimson was my
a
takeaway from that.
Like a subgenre of movie, like best animation.
You could do that.
Or like best
I thought about it, but I thought I would get laughed at if I suggested it.
What?
Animated movie.
Anything's game at this point. I got.
I know, but like if I suggest the animated movie thing,
I think video game round 2 would be fun.
yeah,
I've had a lot of video
Best-
games recently that I'm like.
I think you could do,
So,
you could do video
best
game
phone
franchises.
game.
Like which franchise overall has the most successful and best games?
Yeah.
Sonic versus Mario, which
Mario.
game? Well, I mean,
Sonic.
Uncharted.
Sonic's branding
Silent Hill.
unmatched. Unmatched.
Fair.
Well, I mean, when I did video games the first time,
Mario
it
was
was
Nintendo.
just with my friends back home. So there's a lot of
Oh,
people to.
What about restaurants?
Ooh, chains.
Ooh,
Chain restaurants?
Those are
Cracker
pretty-
Barrel
I like it
versus
because like it wouldn't
Applebee's?
even have to be fast food.
Yeah.
You know,
Just like
Maroon door.
I would see Cheesecake Factory versus
Ruby
like,
Tuesdays.
you know,
Yeah.
versus
Hey.
Ruby
Tuesday versus
Tuesday.
Yeah.
IHOP.
Yeah,
Cracker
Waffle House,
Barrel.
IHOP. Waffle House.
Hard Rock Cafe.
Waffle IHOP is better than Waffle House.
Yeah, but like I don't go to IHOP for quality. You know.
I'm
I'm
like
like-
Waffle House quality either.
I would never eat anything.
Yeah,
from
that's
I'd
the
rather
point.
eat something from IHOP though than Waffle
No,
House.
I don't know. Waffle House has like I think that they both
It
have
scares
similar
me.
enough food, but the atmosphere in Waffle House
I
is
feel like we need a shot.
very you know.
I don't want to be in this
I
scenario.
find that
you.
very
Yeah.
appropriate for breakfast food.
Look, we had to go to a different restaurant and bring our food from the different restaurant into Waffle House to eat with you guys.
Because Waffle House is trash.
Waffle House is great.
Waffle House is great. Anyway, I want
Are
to.
people still watching us?
I have a viewer.
Okay.
That's
I think my
Hey,
mom might be
hello,
still
A
watching.
viewer.
Hey, Corey's mom, what do you think of IHOP versus Waffle House?
I think she would say Waffle House. We like Waffle House.
You're a Jersey person.
that is a Jersey thing.
There's
you're
no
from-
Waffle Houses in
Dude, you're a
Jersey,
Jersey.
I know, but like it's
but we just hate IHOP.
like not even that. I remember I said this to Kelly once, and she still doesn't know what I meant by it, and she still brings it up. And I was like, "You and Corey seem like you are from New Jersey.
Well, you know what?
You guys have that like this weird like edge or something like that
Jersey.
about you."
That's Jersey,
They're
baby.
Jersey.
I know.
They're
Jersey.
Jersey persons.
I say
Yeah.
if you're from Jersey, explain why.
She doesn't know why,
She said Waffle
but I
House.
do. Yeah, Waffle House. See,
I mean,
'cause Waffle House has that edge.
Waffle House. Okay. We just
I
don't
say
like
IHOP is very
IHOP
white
because
bread.
in New Jersey we have like actual diners. So
Oh, most diners per capita.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like
Ever heard of
decent.
Silver
They're good.
Diner?
Yeah.
Love Silver Diner.
Silver.
Silver
Okay.
Diner.
Silver
They spend
Diner's
all that.
okay.
They spend all that
It's
diner
fine.
money on
You should
people
do
to
chain
fill their gas
restaurants
tanks
next.
for
That'd
them.
be fun.
That would be kind
You
of
have
hard.
not
We
dealt
might do
with the
that.
food yet. That's a
True.
big part of human culture.
I still like top things.
Top thing.
I'm
Favorite thing is
really
man.
into
I
that.
think
Yeah, like
Oxygen
man.
should win.
Okay.
Water.
I don't know, like
Water's
cells.
Cells
Water.
are pretty
But
good.
water makes
But
up
cells
cells.
can't live without water.
I think water's number one. All right,
Water's probably
that's
number
the
one.
debate.
But like,
Water's just like the best thing.
what about like the
Hello. Hello.
water can be yellow.
Hello. Okay.
ew?
But you
I'm
shouldn't
gonna wrap things up. Thank you guys
Water
for
can be
watching.
yellow?
But like,
Congratulations
What? No.
to Avatar for winning.
Bye.
And we will see you next time. Thank you guys. Bye bye. Bye bye.